Well, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck to Sim live stream. Today it is the 20th of October 2019. Coming in from Germany, we're in Stuttgart. Actually, I don't think we've done any flights from. Oh, we have done a flight to Germany from Berlin, but yes, we're doing a flight from Stuttgart in Germany to Manchester. Again, I'd like to apologise for the fact that I didn't tell anyone in advance that we'd be streaming today for a couple of reasons. Number one, I wasn't too sure if I was going to do it. I've been out literally all day. We only got back home about 20 minutes or so, and it's been a bit of a mad scramble to get everything set up because I don't have a huge amount of time today because we need to, well, I need to get back to my base later on this evening. I've got a flight to catch, but I have got about a 3-hour window to get this stream done. And secondly, I wanted to really get the VATSIM codec checked out. I've actually tried it out once with some of the Flight Deck to Sim members who tested out on a members only stream, and we got it all working okay, and hopefully it will be alright on our flight to Manchester. Flight time I think is about 1 hour and 35 minutes or so, and that's about it really. We only got the time to do the one sector today, but I hope you're all doing well. We're going to jump in there because that GPU is making an absolute racket. That's much better there. Loads of the members in today: Lee Richards, Steve Mayer, just commented recently, Finley Barfoot, Anthony Teal, Tom Knudsen. Snapshot's here as well. Snapshot, for those of you who don't know, he is an Air Force pilot flying the Sentinel, so we've got all sorts of experienced guys here today. Steve Mayer, you said the stream's crashed on my side. Yeah, it did say it was buffering a little bit, but it all seems to be working quite nicely, and I hope you members are now enjoying the new epaulet-themed membership thing, so you get more stripes the longer you've been a member for. So I hope you appreciate that. We just got a new member coming in as well. Thank you very much, Runar Hull Dawson, for the membership. You'll be automatically invited to our members-only Discord, where you'll have the ability. Oh, look, I left the live stream window on. Live stream about to start. Oh, how do I turn this off? My absolute professionalism when it comes to streaming is shining through here. Now, how do I get that little box off to say priest? There we go. Now it no longer says live stream will start. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, hopefully you'll be able to see clearly what we're going to do. So without further ado, we're going to get things rolling now. We'll talk about the flight and everything that's going on later. Battery on, GPU's on the bus already. Let's pop on the electric hydraulic pumps. Landing gear levers down, ship slide, we'll check next. And now we could do all the normal cargo and fire tests down here. We're in a pre-release version of the ZIBO mod. This version is 3.37.3. There were some slight little tweaks and bugs with the last full version, 3.37. So ZIBO's already implemented some subtle changes there. I did a very brief test flight a couple of days ago, and some of those things have been implemented already. Actually, how much fuel do we need today? We'll go over that shortly, but we need about, I think, 7.6 tons. So I think I'd already pre-fueled the aircraft, but I need to do call the fuel truck. There we go. So if we go and look outside, excellent. You can see, well, should we give this guy a typical German name? I don't know. I can only think of a typical German name, but he's fueling us up anyway for our flight to Manchester. That's getting all pre-fueled, so fuel pumps will come up to later. Cargo fire test is coming up next. I'm a bit all over the place today. There we go. Fire warning is working quite nicely. Camel for life. Don't you have any issues with the rudder? As soon as I use it, the ZIBO, it just flips upside down. Well, that's a little bit dramatic. Maybe need to look at your settings slightly. When you say flip upside down, you mean if you're in flight and you put full rudder in on a 737, it is going to flip over pretty quickly, if I'm honest, with the secondary effect of rudder and your with yaw, or roll, it will yaw very quickly. So it could be quite realistic in its behaviour. Right, pop onto the upper overhead panel. VHF1, nav to align, heading STS is here, 8 minutes for the alignment, and the rest is all looking good. Now we can start the flight leg as well. So now we can jump into the EFIS panel. Latest weather conditions here in Stuttgart in Germany. It's showing a wind coming in. Oh no, that's Manchester, our destination. Stuttgart's a slight northeasterly wind, 3 knots, pretty much light and variable. Clear skies, 22 degrees, and a QNH of 1007. So it's a pleasant enough day here in Stuttgart. So QNH 1007 is set. And we'll now set the minimum flat retraction altitude. So the elevation here in Stuttgart is, where's that on the chart? It's it's 1200 feet, so 1276, which makes sense on the altimeter. And the MFRA it's saying is going to be 2580, so it's a little bit higher than a standard 1000 feet. It's probably some sort of obstacle on departure there. And remember, guys, this is the height we'll accelerate in the event of an engine failure. After V1 and before this height, we'd accelerate at this height there. So that is now set. Jason Madden, hi Flight Deck Sim, just got back from holiday with Jet 2 holidays from Benidorm and my X-Plane 11 has stopped working. I'm very sorry to hear that. I hope you get that fixed as soon as possible there. So that's all set. We don't need to turn any of these lights up just now. So FMC. Now I'm just going to punch everything in here straight away, and then we'll discuss kind of like geographically where we're going and stuff. So we're in Stuttgart. The code for that is Echo Delta Delta Sierra. Well, IRS GPS left, so when the alignment's complete, it knows exactly where we are. There is Stuttgart. We're going to be routing to Manchester. Echo Golf Charlie Charlie, and of course Broadsword 01. We wouldn't be going anywhere without that call sign in this aircraft. We're going to be departing on runway 07, and the SID is a VESID 2 hotel, which is now selected. Got a donation code, Tim Fraser, for the Tesla Fund. Unbelievable, Tim. Tim, your continuous generosity never ceases to amaze me. For those of you who are interested, I am very interested in getting a Tesla. I cannot afford a Tesla right now, though. But I did take one for a test drive yesterday, just for a bit of fun, a Model 3 Performance, and I had a fantastic time. But thank you, Tim. I'll put that in the money pot on my piggy bank. Let's say for Tesla. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So after VESID, we can put the routing in now. So we're going to be routing Yankee 127 to Stuttgart. And from Stuttgart, it's Zulu 114 to Adenu. It never ceases to amaze me in Europe. You know, if you're flying through Germany, France, there's so many waypoints and airways. You know, it's like you're flying to the other side of the world with the amount of waypoints you have to put in an airways here. It's about 3 pages worth, so I'm just basically copying it straight from the flight plan here. So Lersu direct to DNUT, which is approaching UK airspace. Upper Lima 610 to Rapix. After Rapix, it's going to be Lima 610 Lambourne. And nearly done, guys. I should do this before the stream. I've discussed this before, but I like to also do it all the way from cold and dark. So I kind of show you what we do every single first flight of the day, really, every single day. But I seldom do the first flight of the day anymore on the line. I usually let the first officer crack on with it. That way I can check the tech log carefully, make sure the aircraft is fully serviceable before we get pushback done. Right, so after Trent we're going to be flying the Dane 2 Alpha, which is the most common arrival into Manchester from the south. It's been a very long time since I've actually flown to Manchester in real life, and I think they're going to be using the northeasterly runways there, so landing on runway 05, and I think 05 right's the preferred one. I'm not 100% sure. We won't be using any of the Manchester transitions, so we're going to activate that execute, and all we're going to do is after Dane, oh, I think it's actually routed it for us automatically. So if I go to plan, we're going to go Akupa Timpo Elvos Trent Echo Point Dane, and it's just routing direct to centre fix. We'll tidy that up later as we do the setup there. Jim Bulliff 23 right usually at Manchester, I think so. And yeah, when the wind's coming in from the southwest, but I think at the moment, checking the latest weather conditions, it's coming from the south at 10 knots, so they're using the northeasterly ones. It's 05 right currently in real life. There we go. So we'll base that on that. Thanks, that's Steve Walsh. So that's it. FMC is pretty much loaded for the routing. Let's now just do the performance. Going to be a zero fuel weight of 56.4. So I've already preloaded the mod with our fuel and our payload. It's based off 140 passengers, so 15 tons of payload, fuel 7.6 tons from the flight plan. I think I put an extra 15 minutes on extra 600 kilos or so. Reserves, I'm just going to look off this at 2.7. We're going to use East Midlands Airport as our alternate. Cost index we'll use is 30, cruising today at 36,000 feet. Cruise wind off the flight plan at top of climb. Initially we're at 240 for some reason on sim brief, but it says 220.84. So we're going to have a little bit of a tailwind pushing us northwest today. Top of climb ISA, that is showing us a temperature deviation of +1 degrees. There we go. I've done the OPT performance. It's 22 degrees here, and we're going to do full 22k with the bleeds off. It should be 93.3, 94.3. So we haven't got the bleeds on, so it should be about 0.8 difference. So that's close enough. And then takeoff flat 5, and the V speeds are 38, 39, 45, which is going to be an intersection departure for us today. Right, so that's about it for the FMC for now. Go up onto the overhead panel. Yaw damper is on. Put the fuel pumps on. No fuel in the centre tank. Check the cross-feed valve. That's all working correctly. All looking good down here. Pop on the panel lights. Turn those up slightly. Window heat can come on now as well. And the electric hydraulic pumps are already on, all looking good. Trim air is on, isolation valve is open, cruising at 36,000. And the elevation in Manchester, that is, checking the flight plan, 257 feet, so we'll pop in 250 here. There we go, steady is on there, up onto the MCP. Flight directors can come on. The stop altitude for the SID is 5,000. We'll get the clearance from ATC very shortly. There is ATC online at the moment in Stuttgart. And the SID we're going to be flying is the Vibis departure, Vibis 2 Hotel. So it's going to be climbing on a runway heading 072. 072, and we'll immediately intercept the 072 radial from Stuttgart, which is on the airfield. So we're going to put in 072 here. After 072 we're going to be making a left turn, intercept the 152 radial from Luberg VOR, so that's going to be 332 inbound, so we'll pop in 332 here, and we'll make the necessary VORs active. So don't worry, I will show you again everything regarding the setup very shortly, what SID we're going to be flying, the geographical routing and stuff. I'm just getting all the information in as soon as possible. So I'll put VOR active, Stuttgart that side, and Luberg on box 2, 109.2. There we are. So they're all set up. You can see all the needles swinging, pointing at the respective VOR, because they are quite close to the field. That's all it. So we're going to be VHF1 and panel lights turned up. So I think we're pretty much all done. There we are. So yeah, sorry again I haven't looked at the chat recently. You know I like to just crack on with the briefing or setup accordingly. Did I not execute the performance again? No, I always do that, because in reality we independently check the performance calculation, execute it later, but thanks to that, otherwise we'd have an issue with VNAV engaging after departure. So thanks a lot for Mock 66 Metal for pointing that out, and Juan Gomez. Actually lots of you seem to have spotted that. You guys make fantastic first officers. Lastly, I'll just ask one more question. Jim Bloblif, hey Captain, went to Virtual Flight Experiences the other week. They said you've popped in a few times. Yes, I have been there. It's been a while since I've been in there, because I'm so busy these days, commute weekly. I don't have that much time to be able to do such things such as them, but I do know the chaps that run that. It's a very, very good sim they've got as well. Right, so let's have a look at the... well, let's get the clearance first from ATC, and then we can actually see if the new codec's working. Knowing my luck, it's not going to work, and I'm going to have to spend 5 minutes fixing that before we get everything done. So I'll cheat slightly here. Let's just have a look. We've got the ATIS. Well, let's get the weather first, the 126120. Make sure we got the right weather down. There we go, and we can listen to box 2 by if we push this into ZIBO mod. Is it going to work? No, because I put the wrong frequency in, that's why. 126120. It's working there, but why can't I hear the voice? That doesn't fill me up with confidence. Let me just make sure I've got everything working correctly. I can hear the X-Plane ATIS very quietly in the background. Wow, why can't I hear the VATSIM codec? That's really annoying. There it is. Well, let's copy the weather. That was a bit delayed working, but we'll see how it works. So it's information kilo. So runway 07. attention. 27720. There we go. Alright, information kilo copied then from Stuttgart ATIS. He said contact Langen radar immediately after departure on 127720. I have a different frequency on the charts here. I actually have 125050, but we'll use the one that's on here. So Langen is this one, 127720. So we'll make a note of that. And that's an airborne frequency. So that basically means as soon as you're airborne, about 1,000 feet, contact departures for your en route clearance there. So that's essentially all done, and now let's try and get the clearance on Stuttgart Tower, which is 118.8, which should be the same as the real frequency. There we go, 118.8, fantastic. We'll get rid of that, and let's see if it's all working correctly. The ATIS seemed to be working correctly as well. That was very, very clear, but it was fantastic the other night when we tested it on the members only stream. It was working really well. Right, anyway, let's see. There we go. Sounds brilliant, doesn't it? Really, really good. Oh, someone's going to Manchester as well. Crikey. How coincidental. What stand are we on? I can't even remember. Stand 12. 18 not on stream again. Fantastic. Great news. Alright, well, I can hear them clearly. Oh, yeah, look, it's showing it as not working here. Let me have a look at this, guys. Oh, no. We had this problem the other day. So if you give me a couple of seconds, hopefully I could remember how to fix this. I could see all that. I can say, you can hear me say, oh, it sounds great, but you guys can't actually hear this. We had this issue the other day. But hopefully, I think if I select this here, done, you should now be able to hear something there. Now, I'm not sure if you can hear anything now. I'm just going to listen to the ATIS again. Please let me know in the chat if you can hear the ATIS. Can you hear that? Can you hear the ATIS there? Go back off box 1. I think my chat's a bit late. Can't hear anything negative. Can't hear it. Oh no, what is going on? Like, let me just have a play with the settings. The whole idea and point of this stream is basically so you can hear the new VATSIM codec. Now, what did we do the other day? So I've got VATSIM here selected. I'm in the Streamlabs OBS here. And I think I need to select this to something here. It says it's recording the audio now, though. VATSIM. Now, why has that stopped working though? All of a sudden, we had this working completely fine the other day. You set it to headphones. I think you're right, and it's still set to headphones. Headset earphone done. So I still have the headphone there. Yeah, I should be using Xpilot, maybe Alibaba, but we had this working all completely correctly. Steve Voice, you need to add an audio source and change the device to your headphones. It's exactly as we left it the other day on the other stream there. So headset, earphone, use device, headset, earphone, done. And I can't hear anything at all from there. That's an absolute pain in the arse, if I'm perfectly honest. Volume check, yeah. Well, I can hear it all clearly. There's no one speaking on the box. Box. I'm going to put the what I'm going to do, guys, is put the ATIS back on. So obviously, when it's then working, you should be able to hear the ATIS as well. So yeah, give me 2 seconds, guys, whilst I'll try and fix this. I'm going to do what Stuart Walsh suggested: delete it and then reinstall it there. I hate computers and stuff like this, guys, because when you get it working, you don't touch it or do anything, and then all of a sudden it doesn't work there. So it's an absolute pain there. So I'm hearing Stuttgart ATIS right now, so I'm gonna actually delete this one and then re-add another one. There Thank you very much. Take your time. Thanks, Francisco. Yes, you might need to take me 2 or 3 minutes here, so I'm actually going to delete this. Remove. So removed. I'm going to add a new source now. So I've added a new output source. MSGN, you are my mechanics, absolutely. So I've added a new audio output capture. You can hear it now, but the volume is low. It's literally maxed out here. So let me know, guys, if I'm playing. Sorry, you're looking at a boring picture of the pedestal as well. We're hearing X-plane sounds, but not the thing, right? I can hear the 80s completely clearly here. You can only hear the boarding music. You capture the game audio again. Alright, let me just have a... Settings, properties...
And radar on frequency 127. 720.
How's that, guys?
Wind 040 degrees, 3 knots, variable between 320 and 070 degrees.
We can slightly hit sound grapes. That's the default X-plane ATIS. You can... Alright, how's that guy? Antidote. Yes, we can hear it. There we go. Thank you, guys. Look at the chat going live. Brilliant. Thanks, guys. Oh, you guys. So I just reselected it exactly as it was before. So I'm going to set it to a particular volume. Let me know in the chat if it's basically too loud, too quiet, and I'll fiddle with it during the stream. I think I'm going to set it to what I had it before, which is about -15. There we go. So brilliant, guys. Thank you so much for your patience. I really appreciate that as well. So we can turn the ATIS off now. And let me know, yeah, touch loud, Anthony, right, I've turned it down. I'm going to get the clearance now. Let me know feedback-wise how it sounds. If it's too quiet, too loud, let me know and I'll adjust it there. And we can play around with it in stream. So we've still got Stuttgart Tower, 118.8. 118.8 is active. Right, let's grab the clearance. Oh my goodness me, what a flight so far. Always issues on a Flight Deck to Sim live stream. Oh my dear. Oh my days, we say. Here we go. Stuttgart Tower, very good afternoon. Broadsword 01, stand 12. Copied information, Kilo, QNH 1007. Departure clearance to Manchester, please.
Broadsword 01, Stuttgart Tower, information Kilo correct. Startup approved, cleared to Manchester via VZ2 hotel departure. Runway 07, flight plan route, climb initially 5,000 feet, squawk 2141.
Engine start approved. We'll call back for pushback in 5 minutes. We're cleared to Manchester on the VZ2 hotel departure, runway 07, then flight plan route. Climb 5,000 feet, squawk 2141, broadsword 01.
Broadsword 01, read that correct.
Perfect, so that's all sounding good, and we've got the squawk 2141, which is now set, and that's exactly how we would get the clearance now. We'd now set that to 5,000 feet, which would remind us that we have the clearance. Jess, Strider, a little more volume, okay? I'll turn that up a tad. Let's turn that up to there. And again, yeah, I'll keep looking at the feedback there, because I can't hear it there. Touch louder would be good. Alright, perfect, perfect. Right, so... we'll get the APU started. We've already got engine start clearance. I don't know if that's a thing unique to Stuttgart, but sometimes you can get engine start approved prior to pushback. You have to then call back someone for the pushback clearance separately. Some airports might have apron control or something like that. But anyway, what I wanted to very briefly show you whilst we're waiting for the APU is kind of where we are, where we're going. So we'll bring up the geographical map. Here is Stuttgart, quite close to the French border. There's Strasbourg, just north of Zurich. Our routing is basically just in a straight line, taking us northwest, north initially, going overhead, Luxembourg, Brussels. I think we might be just crossing into Holland, crossing the Channel. I think we make landfall a little bit further north of London, and then Manchester's about there. But you guys pretty much know geographically the routing and that part of the world. But it's more for those chaps who are not inside of Europe. Here's the flight plan. Remember, the minimum fuel is 6.9. We actually took 7.6, so just a little bit extra there. Just pop the AP on the bus. Get some APU bleed on as well, and get rid of the GPU so I don't forget to do that. Right, better pushback. I'm just going to request pushback now. Connect first. There we go. So as soon as we get the push clearance, we're all ready to go there. So yeah, let's show you kind of a bit more of a detailed map as well. So if we go to which one is it? I always forget to. There we go. OFP. Where are the... Oh yes, I remember. SimBrief. Sorry guys, SimBrief said due to capacity issues we cannot generate any images of maps at the moment. So unfortunately, you can't see geographically where we're going. Let's have a quick look at the airport anyway. So here is Stuttgart Airport. As you already know, we've got the departure clearance to fly on the VATSIM 2 hotel. We're on stand 12. Very short taxi today. We've actually got the performance from hotel intersection, but we'll probably most likely take Kilo from here. We'll get the pushback clearance from stand 12 to face east on Mike most likely, and then just India for Kilo, and then the departure is going to be the VATSIM 2 hotel. 5.6 DME off the 072 radial, which remember if we set up this side here, it's going to be a left turn 332 inbound to Luberg, and then to Abgan, and then to Vesid, which is all in the FMC, backed up with raw data, and the stop altitude, if you remember, was 5,000 feet, which is set, and immediately after departure we'll contact Lagan radar, which is 127.720. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you're all briefed in. Right, I think we're all ready to go. I feel like I've missed several things. Yeah, order break to RTO, that's one of them. Reset this.
Still got ground right now, wanted to Tango.
And then we'll do the rest of the flight from there. And then we'll get on our way. Jason Grace, check your pushback. We'll have a look at that. Paul the Danger Bro on the United play on your left. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that, two on top of each other. 2E fly out of Ryanair. Oh, look at this. It's getting very, very busy. Right, we'll get the pushback. Hopefully get ahead of everyone here.
So approved, and we're clear to Manchester by the VATSIM 2 hotel. A flight of 5,000 after departure.
I recognise that voice. That's one of my mates.
Ryanair 100 Tango.
Yeah, it's James, one of my friends, who said he was going to join.
Ryanair 100 Tango, read the
Broadsword 01, stand 12, request push and start.
Broadsword 01, push and start approved, face west. Correction, face east.
I was going to say, push and start approved to face east, Broadsword 01. Excellent. Yeah, so let me know in the chat what you think of the new codec. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Clear as day. Really, really good there. Right, so everything's all set up there, ready for the pushback. We can now go to the plugin. Better pushback, pre-plan, no, request pushback, there we go. You can barely hear it because I've turned the volume oh no, hold on, we don't want to do that. A little bit, hold on, request pushback. You could just about hear the guy in German because I've turned the volume right down so you don't get the X-plane ATIS going over the VATSIM ATIS there. So there we go. There you go, parking brake release. You could just about hear that guy's voice there anyway. E-Force YouTube, are you a real pilot? Yes, I'm a captain on the 737. CXW Skitch, fancy this, just pushed a 737 in real life a few minutes ago and now I'm watching you. Love the new codec, fantastic. You should be watching at work. Anyway, oh, see. H. O'Brien, hi. How do you become a member of Flydate Sim? You won't be able to do it on your iOS device if you're running an iPhone or iPad, but you should be able to click on your web browser join. For a small fee each month, you'll be able to join the members-only Discord, where I've just recently started doing a few kind of members-only streams. I've only done one at the moment. I will still obviously stream publicly as frequently as possible, but certainly when I'm testing the mod or doing some things prior to a stream, those guys get to watch it there. You get to see my day-to-day life a bit more, some exclusive photos and pictures, a few other things like that if you are so interested. Right, starting engine number 2.
Ryanair 100 Tango, squawk 2142.
So we have N2 rotation, N1 rotation. Oil pressure's increasing, and here comes our 25%. There we are. Lovely evening and weather and day in Stuttgart, let's say.
Ryanair 100 Tango, taxi holding for runway 07 via November Hotel. November 7 by November Hotel.
Klein Gamer TV, KGTV, how many hours is this flight? About an hour 30 minutes or so. Hour 30 minutes. Started cut out, monitoring number 2, 20%, 400 degrees. and 60% N2, and 300 kilos per hour. N2 is increasing. Have the oil pressure, and there is the N1 rotation as well.
And Stuttgart Tower, Ryanair 12 Alpha requests taxi.
Airport. That guy is very softly spoken. Snapshot's got to go again. Have a good one. Oh, thank you very much for popping in. I know how busy you are as well, so I'll keep in touch anyway on the Discord. And have a great afternoon.
Ryanair 12 Alpha, taxi via
So again, I'm on engine number 1, and that is all stable. Oh, where have I pushed back to? Oh dear, I think I might have misjudged that slightly. Ah, yes, I'm off the taxiway slightly, chaps. I'm only on the apron there. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Imagine none of that happens. Oops. Ah, the love of online streaming and flying there. That might require some sort of report if I ended up taxiing or pushing back like this. Oops, yes, lol, as people are saying in the chat right now. Fantastic. Right, usually we wait for the bypass pin, but we're going to carry on configuring now, just so we can get the taxi done as soon as possible. Right, probes on. That is all set. Flight controls, full forward, full back, left centre, right centre, and rudders, full left centre, full right centre. There's recall.
Ryanair 12 Alpha,
And then we'll do the before taxi checklist.
Runway 07 via hotel.
Continue taxiway.
So we'll just wait for the better pushback to complete, and we'll get the taxi chart out there. Noah Featherston, incredibly generous, $25 again with the crazy donations. My goodness, thank you very much. Hey, I'll be watching the stream later as I'm at work, but just wanted to stop by and say hi. I was wondering if the terrain radar is from a database or if it's an actual radar system in the 737. Thanks, have a good flight. Well, that's a very expensive question you asked, Noah. You could just have dropped that message to me privately and I would have told you. But the donation is massively appreciated, so thank you. So, the terrain database is based off there's a box in the E&E bay. I was actually giving him a physical thumbs up there, like it would be in reality here. So in the E&E bay there's a Honeywell terrain database on like a large, what I can only describe as a computer, and it's stored internally. So it looks at your geographical position and updates the terrain display accordingly. You can use the weather radar to display terrain, but it's certainly not what the database is using there. So that's essentially it. Thank you very much anyway for the donation there. No, I really appreciate that there. Right, we'll request taxi and get on our way to Manchester. Broadsword 01, request taxi.
Broadsword 01, taxi holding point runway 07 via Mike India.
Holding point, runway 07 via Mike India, Broadsword 01. So we're on Mike here, so it's basically the first right. Obviously we're going to have to make a left turn to join Mike because we completely messed up the pushback there. And then India, and then we'll just hold to go to hold point Kilo there. So that is it, right. Oh no, not these lights. Turn off on taxi lights, release the parking brake, and we'll do a config check. There we go. No config warning, so everything's correctly configured, and we'll just make that left turn onto the Mike taxiway. So I didn't mention at the start here, this scenery, I only purchased it 2 hours ago, just prior to going out with my partner, but it is from Aerosoft. Was it Aerosoft, I think? I can't remember actually. Yeah, it is Aerosoft. I think it costs about $20 or so. But yeah, it looks pretty good here. I think it's about a couple of years old or so, but it does seem to be working quite nicely. Not quite as pretty as the Orbex sceneries, but it's certainly good enough here. I always like to get the payware sceneries at any airport we fly into, just to improve and increase the immersion where possible. Tangle Plums, have you ever nicked anything off the trolley? No I haven't. That's funny. Right, anyway, here's the next right, India, and then we'll go to whole point Kilo. So we'll do the before takeoff checklist now. So config we checked, flaps 5.5 green light, stab trim set for departure. It's fine, there it is. I don't really fiddle with that in the mod. It's fine with a kind of a joystick here.
Contact landing radar frequency 125.05.
So we can put that frequency on standby actually. It's always what you want to be thinking about. So he's actually handed them over. It usually would be an automatic changeover frequency, but we'll put 12. Oh, he gave him a different frequency actually. 12. I thought it was 127.75. 127720 was the one off the ATIS. So I'm just going to put that on standby. There we go. I think he just gave him another frequency. But anyway, let's do the before takeoff briefing. So packs are in auto, bleeds on, the V speeds are set for departure, 39, 39, 45 set. We're going to be flying the VATSIM 2 Hotel SID. That's going to take us straight ahead off runway radial of Stuttgart to 5.6 DME. Then we're going to make a left turn inbound on the 332 to Luberg, and after Luberg it's RNAV waypoints Abgan, and then to VATSIM. Stop climb is 5,000 feet, which is set on the MCP, and it's usually set in the FMC as well, but we'll leave it just on the MCP here. Noise here, I think it's noise 2, I'm not 100% sure on that, but we'll use noise abatement departure procedure too. Right, so we'll tell Stuttgart Tower we're at Kilo ready for departure. Broadsword 01, holding point Kilo, runway 07, ready for departure.
Broadsword 01, wind 040 at 3, runway 07, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 07, cleared takeoff, Broadsword 01. And just to confirm, it's automatic changeover to 127, 7201 airborne?
Broadsword 01, after departure, contact land radar 125.05.
125.05. Yeah, just the ATIS said 12772. But thanks for service, Juice.
Approaching 07.
Right, so frequency is actually 125.05. I wouldn't recommend doing this whilst lining up. You have lots more other important things to be doing, like making sure that you are actually cleared for takeoff. Are you cleared to enter the runway? You don't want to have something called a runway incursion, where you enter a runway without clearance. So you wouldn't be fiddling down there, certainly, or certainly not a single pilot, nonetheless. But we'll get the rest of the things switched anyway on just prior to departure.
03 Tango radio check.
On runway 07.
That's all good. So MCP is set, strobes are looking good. Right, so let's just go down here. Right, so MCP is set, transponder is TARA, strobe lights are on, landing lights on, we've been cleared takeoff, cabin is ready, Assad. So excellent. Right, so if we have a look outside, let's see, we're all ready to go. Excellent. Right, so 40% N1.
07 miles away behind. Go on now, 1 Tango.
So that is stabilised, pushing toga, set takeoff thrust. Light forward pressure on the control column, there we are. Looking for 93.6. There we are, takeoff thrust set, indications normal. That's checked, releasing that forward pressure on the control column.
Runway 403 Tango, start approved, cleared Manchester via VATSIM 2 auto departure. Flight route, climb 5,000 feet, squawk 2154.
That's V1, hand off the thrust lever, say that again, rotate. There we are, keep pulling for that dead band, up to 2.5 degrees second to 50 degrees, pause ready, climb gear up. There we go, and trim. Fantastic. Oh, look, pitching up a little bit too much as we enjoy that external view. It's 1,000 feet. I'm going to engage you on the pilot bug up because I want to contact Langen.
Rest of the retake was correct.
There we go, we're now on Langen radar. Just waiting for V2 plus 15 to select flap 1. Timer, well done guys. It's so annoying when you forget to do that in reality as well. We'll just have to add 1 minute to the time as well. There's V2 plus 15 represented by that white bug. We can now select flaps 1.
Right now, 1 2 Alpha.
I think someone was just waiting for a read back there, so we'll just wait for anyone to check in. Got the curved lines looking very nice on the SID. There we are.
Right now 1 2 Alpha.
So probably just feedback for ZIBO, slightly lower, lower attitude there for the climb. Might be a slight change there with the update, but I was expect to be accelerating a little quicker there. Langen radar, very good evening. Broadsword 01, our departure is the VATSIM 2 Hotel, passing 4,000 for altitude 5,000 feet.
1,000 to go.
Vertical speeds.
50, 40.
Thank you very much for the donation.
20.
Justin Schulter, €2, just in time for takeoff. Safe flight, thank you very much for the donation there, really appreciate that. Just check in. It's definitely the right frequency because someone was talking. Lagging radar, good evening. Broadsword 01, Vesid 2 Hotel, passing 4,700 for altitude 5,000 feet. Well, this will be a problem if we don't don't have any ATC. Oh, I can hear someone talking. I hope that's not a problem my end here. Certainly no one here. Lagging radar, Broadsword 01. Well, we'll crack on with the after takeoff checklist, guys. We might have to stick at 5,000 for a short while because I cannot hear anyone responding to me. We've definitely got the right one there. It's Stuttgart North Approach, which was the frequency he gave us there. So we're going to maintain 5,000. Let's just do the after takeoff checklist. Even though we're in a simulator, we'll still prioritise aviate, navigate, communicate. Always want to check all the important things here. So pressurisation, diff pressure is about 1.9 psi. Everything is set. Or release the cabin crew. And we'll just try check in one more time. Squawk 7600 Connor. Yeah, slow down. Calm down. A few more things we could do before that. Langan radar Broadsword 01, maintaining 5,000 feet, Vesid 2 Hotel.
Broadsword 01, Langan radar identified, climb flight level 140, direct Vesid.
Climb flight level 140, direct to Vesid, Broadsword 01. So, I don't know, maybe he nipped to the toilet or something. I didn't change anything there. Now, he was very quiet on the radio, so I guess you guys might have struggled to hear him there. So, 140, VNAV, set standard.
Langan radar, right now,
Passing 5 to flight level 140, and the after takeoff checklist is already done.
Ryanair 100 Tango, Langan radar identified, climb flight level 140.
So now inbound on the Luberg VOR, which if you go to the first officer side, the way we had it all set up, if we select VOR, you can see on the course deviation indicator, we are bang on it. Now, where's the CDI on this one? So that's like us on the VOR CDI, we don't have our course deviation indicator. We do on the expanded scale. Oh no, even on the expanded scale we've lost it. Maybe that's probably because we were a bit close. It was there for a second. Sure. Oh, crikey, he said direct to Vesid as well. Whoops. That's why there's two of us, guys. Pilot monitoring will be working on the lateral element of the routing there. Very well done, Hector.
Broadsword 01, proceed direct Liaison. That's Lima India Romeo Sierra uniform.
Direct to Leasu, Broadsword 01. So he's talking very quietly, a lot quieter than the other guy. So we've got our direct anyway to Leasu, 137. Using reserve fuel, that's a little bug with the mod. Sometimes it does that when you get a direct prior to executing. But we've got 4 tons, well above our reserves. I'm just going to turn up the audio on the VATSIM client there. So hopefully you'll hear him a little clearer. Again, if we get another person talking to us, we'll have to fiddle with that so it doesn't deafen you. GamerTube, thank you very much. Don't forget the directs. Yes, very, very good. And that is why there's 2 of us. And also, when there's 2 of us, in reality, we're in a critical phase of flight. We're not doing anything except flying the aeroplane. I am doing a multitude of things here, but nonetheless, I appreciate the amount of times you guys have saved me in chat from embarrassing myself is, well, I can't count them on my fingers. Right, they're passing 103 for flight level 140. Let's do the pre-cruise check. So fuel, 4 pumps, lights can come off, logo is off. APU is off, pressurization 4.0 psi, the rest is all set. I think we can release the passengers. Lovely smooth day, recall, there we go. The pre-cruise checks are complete. Francisco, probably over asked, but haven't heard your reply. How does the ZIBO compare to the real 737? Well, yeah, very common question. One of the reasons I use the ZIBO mod exclusively in X-Plane 11 is not only as of today, X-Plane 11 is still the best sim available on the market. The ZIBO mod utilises the many positives that X-Plane 11 has with regards to the flight model. Secondly, with a bit of input from not just myself but several other 737 pilots, real-world pilots as well, you now have an aircraft which is of beyond payware quality. And I don't say that because I'm involved with the team. I've said this countless times before. This aircraft is well beyond most pay-wear quality aircraft now, with how it works, it behaves, the systems, and it's completely free. And that's why, you know, it's my go-to aircraft for streaming. Yes, the PMDG is excellent. Don't get me wrong, many of the systems work, more systems probably than this.
Broadside 01, can you give me a radio check? I just noticed on your stream that I'm quite low.
1,000 to go.
Yeah, Broadside 01, yeah, your volume is quite low. I can hear you clearly, but maybe 2 out of 3 out of 5, but it's clear enough to understand, at least.
Copy that, Broadside 01.
There we go.
Broadside 01, you're leaving my airspace. Contact now, Lang Radar 12772, bye-bye.
127.72 Broadside 01. Thank you very much for the help. Cheers. I presume he's German.
Cheers.
Yes, is the answer to that. That's my German exhausted. Or Auf Wiedersehen, I could have said that as well. Right, anyway, let's go to the next lag and frequency.
120.8, Swiss 14, bye-bye.
Yeah, maybe it's. I need to take my volume up slightly, but it's probably it could be something wrong my side. Langen radar. Good evening. Broadside 01, maintaining flight level 140 direct to Lersu.
140.
Oh, I blocked someone.
Okay, 2 stations, so I forgot the Broadside 01. You're on radar contact. Flight level 140. Climb flight level 240.
Climb maintain flight level 240 Broadside 01.
Radio 12 Alpha.
2 stations again. Please say again.
I think someone stepped on me, so the way the controller handled that was perfectly. So in reality this happens quite a lot, especially in very busy airspace. So you imagine VHF, it's single channel, only one person can talk at the time. So you fly into somewhere where there's 200 aircraft in one sector airspace. I don't know what the limit is per station, but basically if everyone tries to check in at the same time, you know, he'll say yeah 2 channels, he'll read back what he heard, or he'll tell you 2 stations, and he usually has a good idea of who's checking in by looking at his sector, who's approaching the airspace and stuff. So yeah, he dealt with it really well. Why flight deck to sim? Do you ever feel dropped when you see an A380 and you're in your Airbus 737? I know what you meant, Boeing 737. Yes, of course. The 737 compared to a light aircraft is obviously very big, but we've got issue with the Frankfurt scenery apparently. But yes, when we're behind a wide body, even a 777, you know, we're looking up at that thing. So yeah, you do feel it.
Langen radar. Good afternoon. Line 100 Tango with you. Flight level 140. Ryanair 100 Tango, Langenhardt, hello, identify.
Francesco, thanks for the answer, really kind of you, great channel, I truly enjoy watching your videos, and this is the first time I'm able to watch a live vid. Thanks, Captain, you're most welcome, Francesco. I do my absolute best to look at all the questions coming in on my left-hand side as we're flying around, and obviously this is now a quieter phase, and I have a little bit more time to look at some of the questions coming in. Right, look, I haven't set the runway heading once, and that's always important to do in case we're told to maintain present heading. We're not in a fancy Airbus where you have a button to push to hold. I even say fancy Airbus. The aircraft that we flew last stream, the little Robin DR200 in Courchevel, that even has a more sophisticated kind of layout than the 73, incredibly.
Langen radar, Lufthansa 68 Hotel, flight level 110.
Lufthansa 68 Hotel, Langenhardt, hello, identified, climb flight level 310.
Climb flight level 310, Lufthansa 68 Hotel.
Jason Madden, how do you get your views? So my views are assigned by using the default X-Plane 11. You can assign views, so I use the numpad. For example, 1 is captain's view, the main view, 2 is MCP, 3. And you just basically move the camera using the arrow keys, the semicolon, dot, comma, and then you press control on the assignment you want to do. So then I have 3 for FMC, 4 for the overhead panel, 5 for the up overhead panel, 6 is the pedestal, 7 is wing view left, 8 is wing view right, and 9 is first officer, and 0 is AVATAP. So that's it. Each aircraft I fly in X-Plane, I assign those views accordingly. So when we fly in the FlyJSim 200, I have pretty much the same views assigned to go to the same places. Will Kinyard, would 100 Tango be allowed in real life for 100 Tango? Technically 100 Tango, but you know, aircraft would be, you know, I should think both the crew and the AT would call it 100 Tango. I would, if I had a call sign of that, I'd call it 100 Tango. So vertical speed just slowing that rate of climb down as we approach 1,000 feet to go. Lovely, lovely day here on the German-French border. I should think we're approaching. Check, get rid of all the Stuttgart charts for now. Approaching, I said the French-German. Oh, look, we're still in Germany. We won't even reach France. Look, sorry, we're going towards Luxembourg. Nicola, how proficient are airline pilots with flight planning? Could you build a valid and efficient route in case the dispatcher isn't available? Well, the dispatcher doesn't create the flight plan. We have an airline would have a specific flight planning whole department. You know, airline has a flight planning department who program the flight plans, and they're usually pretty standard routings. I'd say my knowledge of actually, you know, filing a flight plan, I haven't filed a flight plan since my instrument rating, so pretty poor if I'm honest. So that's why an airline, large airline, would have a flight planning department. There's very rarely issues, you know, the main issue being that there's an issue with Eurocontrol perhaps giving flight plans out, but again, that's not my forte. So yeah, that's it there. Dispatcher not involved in that process. Clank Gamer TV, KGTV, why do planes always fly above 30,000 feet? That is because the higher you go, the more efficient a jet engine becomes. A lot less air, a lot less fuel required. When engines run at a higher thrust setting, you know, they run far more efficiently. So, you know, 70% at sea level, you're going to be burning a lot more fuel than you are here at 24,000 feet. We're only burning about 2.2 tons an hour. That thrust setting at the ground would be. So, reality now, you know, we're stuck here at 240. That's not efficient. We want a continuous climb, so we might give this guy a nudge, you know, standing by for hire or something like that. Broadsword 01, standing by for hire.
Last station, calling, please say again.
Broadsword 01, standing by for high. I think we are capped at 240, but request flight level 360. I think the flight plan's capped at 24.
Okay, Broadsword 01, climb flight level 360.
Thank you very much. Climb flight level 360, Broadsword 01. Yes, I think when I filed that flight plan, we'll have a look at it in a second, we set 240, which was sim brief. I didn't actually look at that. So we can push out into vent now. Aircraft's going to continuously climb now. N1V now speed. And because that's our final cruise level, we're for making sure we're going to set everything correctly. So 360 in the up overhead panel, set correctly on the MCP, and lastly in the climb cruise page as well. So let's have a cheap look at that flight plan. Yeah, so you can see, look, we are flight level cap 240 until Stuttgart, so in reality, you'd have to wait until after Stuttgart to get continuous climb, which was Stuttgart in relation to
contact flight level 280, continue descent, flight level 100.
360, you can see, look, oh yeah, I mean, we should have got continuous climb, look, you know, we're 17 minutes into the flight, should already be at 360, so it was only a brief cap at 360.
100 for Lufthansa 145.
Chutnut, is this the first time you've tried the new codec? Yes, officially on the public stream it is. I did a members only stream about a couple of days ago to test the new codec, where those guys helped actually help me set it up properly to make sure it was working, because I was having a few issues and stuff. We did actually have a few issues if you've only just popped in now at the beginning of this stream, but we managed to get it fixed within 5 minutes, thankfully. But yeah, first time public streaming. So far, very impressed with the quality of it. Indeed, it's very, very good. Joe Langley, to further on your question, do you find it realistic? Yes, I do. Certainly within the realms of a desktop simulator. In reality, you know, you've got other things like the background noise of the aircraft, which in the real 737 is really loud. But yeah, it's perfect for a desktop sim. It's really, really good.
Scandinavian 4 Lima Papa Langenrader, hello.
Balazas, do you ever use the flight perfector function on the EFIS? No, not really. For those who are interested in what the FP is, it's basically where the direction where the aircraft is going. So if you, one of the things you could do is cheat when you're flying raw data. If you put the flight perfector on the horizon, you're level. You're not going to descend or climb. But no, I don't use it. Some guys do use it, but I don't.
Transition right into our FMC for Lufthansa 145.
Sounds great.
Steamy Spoon 60, good morning, Captain. Alternating between the stream and the Premier League game. Yeah, it's only one game today. I'm not a big football. Is it Liverpool? It's a big game, isn't it, today? But make sure you prioritise. You know what you really want to watch. Game is not the answer. Tao Lonescu, what version of Explain 11 are you playing on? I think I updated the video description before because I copied it when the Explain opened earlier. I think it's 11:35, maybe 11:36, can't remember. 11:36. I've opted out of the beta ones now because usually when they have a large update on the beta ones, it can mess around the flight model slightly. Greg, are you into Formula 1? Yes, very much so. Looks like the season's pretty much all wrapped up now.
Lufthansa 5297, descent now, flight level
some of the races I found quite boring though. The Japanese one was quite boring last weekend. Well, after the first 20 laps it was, I just kind of fell asleep. Yeah, it was early in the morning anyway. Antisocial, with how many feet per minute should real pilots land in normal conditions for a perfect landing? Oh, the Simmers qualm, that is. That's a commonly asked question, and I have a bit more of an understanding of this. Certainly prior to streaming, I couldn't have told you how many feet per minute would grant you a smooth landing. What would we justify as? We don't even consider that in reality. We just want to make sure that we are landing in the touchdown zone as smoothly as possible, ideally. But as Boeing say, you know, a smooth landing is not the requirement for a good landing. It's to get your aircraft in the touchdown zone, speed brakes up, reverses selected, stopping as efficiently as possible. You know, runway excursions are probably now the most common incident or accident in commercial aviation. So if you look at statistically, aircraft involved in incidents, it's most commonly aircraft going off the side of the runway, off the end of the runway. The airline I work for, we very much have a positive attitude on a positive landing without giving too much away, but certainly it's very satisfying getting a greaser. Don't get me wrong, but it's certainly not what we strive to do. Certainly not when the runway's less than 2,000 metres long anyway. Oh yeah, someone talking about, yeah, real name policy on VATSIM. So I've actually contacted VATSIM about this. They kind of, you should use your real name, but because they respect my autonomy, I use a fictitious name based off a very well-known cartoon character. So that is completely fine with the VATSIM. Glass, not were you in Germany on Friday? No, I was. No, what day is it today? If you ever become an airline pilot, guys, you never know what day it is. Sunday today, isn't it? No, I was off on Friday. Jonas, what would you be doing if? What would you be doing as a living if you had not become a pilot? My kind of backup career was law. I quite liked law at school. I actually studied law as an A-level at the school I went to. It was actually an option there. That was a sort of backup. I don't think I would have enjoyed it. I really don't know what I would have done. I was just very fortunate there. But law path was an option. But yeah, I was just, you know, everything just fell in place. A bit of hard work, all kind of came together really. Tao Lonescu, how do you manage your speed so well in VNAV descent? I always end up using speed brake for 80% of my descent. Well, I mean, the ZIBO mod is very good now at calculating your idle VNAV path descent. The idea is you descend with idle thrust and it maintains your target speed quite well. The real aircraft is pretty good at doing that, but there can be a lot of variables which affect that. You know, speed can vary. You might have to add thrust or use speed brake accordingly, but it's not frequently. It's just a bit of experience, really. I kind of know what the aircraft should be doing and reacting accordingly there.
Last station calling, please, second.
Octane, what client are you using? X-Pilot? No, I'm not using the new X-Pilot. I think they're running into a few issues, so I'm using the original Squawk Box. And if you want to use Squawk Box, which is what I was using before, you need to download something called Audio for VATSIM Client. I run that alongside, in the background, it's an app. Well, an app, it's a program on the PC, which plugs in the new voice codec. For me, it's working fine, so I'll probably stick to this until, you know, X-Pilot becomes a little bit more solid or reliable, but there's no issue with this one so far, I don't think.
Condor 1502 heavy.
Condor 1503.
So mod's gone into outer quiet very early. You wouldn't quite get out of quiet just yet. You probably, the real aircraft kind of works out, you get out of quiet probably about now. You see, when the rate of descent starts dropping off, that's when out acquire should engage instead of we've got out hold. Out hold should only engage when you're bang on your altitude. There we go, anyway, we're at our cruise level. 400 miles to top of descent, so that is just approximately about 40 minutes away. And we are approaching. Where are we? So Echo Delta, we've got Brussels here. Brussels Main, then Charleroi. Cologne, is it Echo Delta Delta Kilo? Luxembourg is Echo Lima Lima X-ray. This is all familiar, I've flown over this bit of airspace a few times in my life. Actually, I said at the start of the stream we'd have a good tailwind today. I forgot about our routing. It's actually a lot more westerly than I thought. I thought it'd be more northerly, but I've actually got a slight headwind here. Mostly crosswind, but the headwind's going to be about 10 knots or so. Yeah, 17 knot headwind. All looking good. So we've had continuous ATC so far, which is excellent news. That was the whole idea of the stream today, was to make sure we had that.
Lufthansa 5 Lima Yankee, contact Langenrada 120.
Just checking the VATSIM map to see kind of like if we're going to have any. Well, it looks like we might have it all the way to Manchester, chaps.
Yeah, I think we're going to have 80 all the way, which is fantastic. Oh, Carl, thank you. $50 donation, absolutely insanity. Carl is also a member of mine. He's been watching my videos sometimes, constantly donates very generously, but thank you so much, Carl. That's crazy. Hi, Captain. I've been enjoying your streams, but haven't felt well enough to participate in the chat here or on Discord. Hope all is well. Hopefully back to normal in 60 days or so. Well, Carl, please keep in touch with us on Discord, because you know, I haven't seen you there for a while actually. But thank you know, it's an insane donation. I feel unbelievably humbled to receive that. But, I hope you're doing well. I don't want to say obviously to everyone what's happening with you. So I'll let you decide if you want to do that in the chat and stuff. But I do wish you a speedy recovery, and I do pray for you to get ready in the next or get better as soon as possible. Thank you so much, Carl. Very, very generous indeed. My goodness, that's insane. Jim Bob Alive 33. Can you explain the new wireless panel on the pedestal? Yes, we're using the new MMR multi-mode receiver. This is fitted to pretty much all of the last generation NGs. It's kind of like an update on the old knob design that's shown on the com here, and it's fitted to the Maxes. I think all the Maxes have the MMR. It's just a new panel basically to set things up. So you have the active frequency here, standby frequency here. So with the ILS, you can change this to ILS VOR GLS, which actually does work in the ZIBO mod. We must do a GLS approach at some point. It's the same as an ILS as far as the pilot's concerned, but we will do one. And you just select the frequency and then flick it over, and that becomes active like that. So yeah, that's how it works.
Lufthansa 1 Victor. Confirm out of the Aspart 4 Echo, the Spessart 07, right?
Lufthansa 1 Victor, negative your route is last waypoint Papa Sierra Alpha, and after Papa Sierra Alpha, cleared Papa Sierra Alpha 07 Sierra transition.
Lufthansa 1 Victor, just confirmation, we are on the Aspart 4 Echo right now from the previous controller.
That's also fine. In this case, descent when ready. Flight level 110 via Aspart 3 Echo arrival.
Cadu Tomadas, hi. Is it real that part in FMC Route 2? Is it working in the mod now? I don't think so. No, it's not working. Broadsword 01, go ahead.
Broadsword 01, contact Maastricht 135.45. Bye-bye.
135.450. Broadsword 01, choose.
Sky travel 551, do not forget to descend. Flight level 110.
Do not forget to descend. You know what I really, really love about VATSIM, because I'd have to admit, most people are extremely professional and they know exactly what to do. But sometimes you get these slight quirks, you know, where someone doesn't quite know what they're doing. I'll never forget about a year ago we used to do a stream from Gdansk to Krakow, and this guy came up and used Mayday 3 times because he couldn't see out the window, said he was in IMC. I found that really funny. So here's Maastricht. Just let someone respond. I don't know if I wasn't actually listening. Oh look, I forgot to engage VNAV at top of client. That's a bit of a naughty. Maastricht, good evening. Broadsword 01, maintaining flight level 360 DNUT.
Bruce 01, hello, you identified. What is your Mach number?
Mach decimal 76 broadsword 01. What would you like? 77.
I'll get back to you in a minute, standby.
Cool. So I often asked, you know, what do they like? That's for sequencing usually, and I told him 76 are actually going to be doing about decimal 77. But usually, in reality, if they ask you for Mach numbers, if he's doing this correctly, it's usually because there's sequencing traffic. There's traffic directly behind you or in front of you. I should think because I'm leaving Stuttgart, quite a few people are going to Manchester. He might start sequencing aircraft by giving them Mach numbers, which is pretty cool if he starts doing that, especially if aircraft have the same destination. That way, you know, different airlines, they don't fly different cost indexes. You know, an Airbus is going to fly slightly faster than a 737. So, you know, everyone's going different slightly speeds based off their cost index. So if he wants you to go a specific speed, he'll put every aircraft on a specific speed. Oh, that sounded like old VATSIM there. That was no good.
Hero Control, Ryanair 100 Tango, we are with you, flight level 360, and reporting Mach speed decimal 72. Ryanair 100 Tango, thank you. You are identified. You can fly Mach 0.75 or less. Mach 0.75
yeah, keep high a bit. I think that's James, one of my friends actually.
Mach 0.76 or more.
Decimal 76 or more, broadsword 01. So
Thank you.
he's going to Manchester as well, you see. He's a friend of mine. He said, I think I just messaged him, he said he was going to join on the stream. So he's just made him go 7... I'm doing 7.6 or more, I think he said 7.5 or less. It just stops him going up my APU, essentially, and sequencing accordingly. They've actually already started planning doing that, so that's pretty cool.
Ryanair 139, expedite your descent.
Pilot 304, never been in the cockpit of a 737. Well, if you're ever a passenger on my aircraft, you want to look at the flight data, you are most welcome, albeit on the ground, so I couldn't get you any closer any other time. But yeah, you can always have a look. Stand up and don't be afraid, you know, if you want to talk to the cabin crew, just say, well, can I have a look at the flight deck after landing? It shouldn't be an issue.
Matrix, good evening, Easy 71 Echo Lima 095, climbing 290.
Easy 71 Echo Lima, hello, you are
Michael Sakula, do the packs have to be isolated for or side-to-side manually for engine start, or does it not matter? Well, the packs, we don't use the packs for engine start because we need the APU to provide the duct pressure. And if you've got the packs running, there isn't enough oomph from the APU to run the packs and the engine. So when we start the engine, the packs are off. You can, after you've started one of the engines, isolate the packs and run the air conditioning off one side. So what we'd usually do is start engine number 2 first, you close the isolation valve, put the pack in auto, and that way engine number 2 is providing the pressurization to condition the cabin, and then you start engine number 1 using just the APU bleed. That's one way of doing it, but at the moment they're running independently of each other, so the isolation valve is in auto. It'll be closed at the moment, so in reality it's in auto, but the system will be closed and they're working independently of each other.
Thanks.
Lovely evening, nice little sunset at the moment, 1600 UTC, so time in Germany right now is 6 in the evening, or Luxembourg I should say, Brussels wherever we are. It's coming over just past 5 o'clock in the UK time. I've got a flight to catch in 4 hours back to my base, guys. You'll see some Flyby related dash Instagram stories. I actually have a window seat this time, so let's see how they land later on at my base.
Ryanair 139, turn right heading 300.
Right heading 300, Ryanair 139er.
Pilot 304, one more question. Which airline do you work for? Most people listening could be saying this. I don't state that. It's just personal choice. And if anyone is new to my stream, thank you personally, thank you very much for coming in and enjoying the content, I hope. But it's something I just don't choose to discuss because I'd like to show you how to fly a 737, not want to talk about certain operators or any operator. So you'll always see if I get questions like that. You know, it's, any opinion on this stream is obviously my own, but we kind of keep away from those topics. Just a personal choice of mine. Tutorial videos. Where did you do your training? Oxford Aviation Academy, or what is now known as CAE Oxford, and I started that in 2010.
Ryanair 139, thank you for your help. Fly direct Rapids, for London 132.6.
Dropping and 132.6.
Matthew Schmitz, ever thought about flying something else in real life at some point? Nope, very happy if I'm perfectly honest. My current operator flying the 737. Very, very happy in the position. I have no intention of changing airline at this present time.
1503 heavy or flight level 280 for flight level 830.
Philip MC, how do you stream? How do you stream when away from your base? I can't. Simple as that, and that's why if you're new here, especially, I don't have a regular streaming schedule because I spend at the moment, more than half of my time away from home. When I am home, I've got other things to do. You know, I've got a dog, my partner. Everyone knows my dog Jack, who is currently down the stairs. He's not popped at the moment. He works the door shut in the office. But I've got a lot of other things that have to come first before I can commit to streaming. So at the moment, hopefully that will change in the very near future. Wojtek CYVR, you mentioned a plugin for Squawkbox. Could you say the name again? Absolutely. If you go on VATSIM at the new codec website, you'll see anyway, but it's called Audio for VATSIM Clients, and that just runs alongside Squawkbox. Very easy to install.
12772 Giant 100, correct, goodbye.
15 X-ray, Lanyon, 127725, tschüss.
Andrew747, can you add me in Discord, as I remember for a long time before Discord? Another question, when to use RAL decision height for chart minimums. I appreciate that, Andrew747, but I can only run that for active members, because it's not going to be fair for the actual members, you know, so it's just something that will be kept that way, just because, you know, it's something that I do on the side there, but I do remember you, if I messaged me at least sometime or anything like that. But to answer, I hope they're not talking to me, I'm ignoring them anyway. Another question, when do you use RAL decision height on charts for minimums? So at my operator, we'd use RA for Cat 2, Cat 3 approaches, so where the height is actually based off, the minimum is based off a height above the ground. For everything else, Cat 1 non-precision approach, we'd use a decision altitude based off QNH. What's going on? So many voices. Oh, sorry about that, guys. So what's going on there? So as an example, I'll show you the approach into Manchester 05 left as an example. Jefferson have separate charts for Cat 2 and Cat 3 approaches. The charts we use are all integrated into one approach chart. This is a decision height. You can see that's based off height of the ground, so you use RA. Cat 2 you can use altitude, but we actually use a height, so we'd set 107 in this case. And if you select a Cat 1 ILS approach, for example, like we're going to do today, Runway 05 left as an example, you can see here the minimums are, you get the height anyway, but we'd set the decision altitude there, 412 feet. It could vary, different operators, I've only ever flown for one airline, so it could differ slightly, but that's what we do. Zach's Aviation, love the streams, keep up the good looking streams and content. Well, thank you very much, Zach's Aviation, and everyone that is here today. I do appreciate the thumbs up on the video, it certainly gets me out and about on YouTube, so seeks out my channel to more people. I do appreciate all of the feedback and thumbs up, comments. I do try and answer as many as I can, so I do appreciate all of those. Alex Ray, what's your favourite colour? I don't really have one.
No, that's my bad.
Green, I guess. Stuart Walsh, check com 2. I missed something. Do you want me to guard one? I can listen to guard, maybe. If I do that, I'll be listening to 1-to-1.5. Oh, I've got you. Maybe that's why we're getting 2 radio frequencies, because we're actually picking up somewhere else. Well, we'll put 1-to-1.5 and we should just leave it like that. You should be able to hear it with the mod. I think ZIBO's correctly programmed that. Lee Black, Lazy Sunday, wifey's cooking a roast whilst I watch a Flight Deck to Sim live stream for the first ever time. Bliss. Don't tell the wife. Hey, I tell you what, I don't mind a Sunday roast. And we had, what did I have for lunch? I only ate it at my lunch about 15 minutes before starting the live stream because we were out and about today. I had a reheated cottage pie from yesterday.
And you can proceed there with Mithla.
Proceed direct member and flight level 380 for easy man.
30 frames per second, I think we're 27, 28. You can hear my computer whirring underneath my feet as it tries to load everything in. A little bit cloudy as we head north. We do have Ortho 4XP down all of this area.
Donation coming in from Volprick, thank you very much. 17 Danish kroner, I think that is. Why does VNAV not engage after reset MCP altitude message? Have you selected a lower altitude on the MCP? That's probably going to be the most common reason. So I'm guessing in this case here, you know, after reset MCP out is usually when you're approaching top of descent, so you need to select a lower altitude here for VNAV to be able to engage again. Or maybe, you know, yeah, it should be able to engage in any case where you're with regards to your top of descent point. So I should think that's probably what you've missed out there. Might be wrong, but without seeing it in person, I can't give you much more detail. But nonetheless, thanks for the donation. Technical aviator, what does the AC and DC volts do? Well, I guess with your YouTube username, you'd be able to tell me. Electricity is not my forte, but essentially, the aircraft uses or generates AC electricity from the engines. 150 volt AC phase. Or I think it's something like that. Electric is not my expertise there. We have different parts of the aircraft which then convert this into DC. Is it static inverter? I got that the wrong way around. Electrics, I need to review like every month to know what I need to know my knowledge on that. But essentially that powers all the essential systems. But AC is what's generated. You can see here, look, for example, we select the generator, look, engines, 115 volts, 400 phase, there we go. But again, we don't use these systems. It's more an engineering function these days. You know, we don't have the warning lights there, but yeah, not the man. And I'm a bit embarrassed to even say that my electric knowledge is really poor. I need to refresh all that again.
Easy 95 Zulu Tango, hello, you identified. Squad 03.
JD Munich Kaiser, anyone else just nosedived at top of descent with the newer ZIBO version? Well, I certainly hope that doesn't happen today.
Lufthansa 4 Yankee Victor with your flight level 235 climbing to 90.
Lufthansa 4 Yankee Victor, hello, identified. Make a right and direct.
And we got another donation coming in from Tim, who donated at the beginning of the live stream, like you always do. Always a member, always donate again. Another 20 quid coming in. Tim, thank you very much. Just to thank you for your continued dedication to us mere minions. You know, I'm just a normal guy like you guys. I just love flight simming and returning to the roots essentially. But Tim, I don't know what I'm going to do. One day I'm going to have to shove a load of cash in your hand because your generation never ceases to amaze me. Unbelievable, Tim. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Condor 1503, Euro Control West 135.
Russell Spears, also, what's these Boeing cracks all about? What are they? A concern for you as they're not on your aircraft type? Cheers. Well, I think some of the NGs, some of the older ones, they had some reports of cracks on the wing root or something, but they had airworthiness directive to have them inspected, I think, or the aircraft inspected, which has been an issue. MCAS on the NG, no, it's not until the NG, it's a feature of the MAX, but I think there is a similar system in the NG which doesn't actually, you know, it's not activated, but it's not used or something. But again, I'm not going to go into too much detail on my personal opinion on MCAS. Let's hope Boeing get to fixing that aircraft as soon as possible. It looks like that aircraft should be, well, I think it was actually one flying quite recently doing some tests, but yeah, I hope they get to the bottom of it very soon. It's obviously been very damaging to the company and many airlines worldwide as well, so yeah, we'll see.
Direct Hotel Delta Oscar Scandinavian 27.
Oh, Daniel Smith, I meant with the ZIBO nose diving report that's meant by MCAS on the NGs. Oh, no, hopefully not.
Tomjet 4608, approach top of descent.
Tomjet 460, thank you, descent level 250.
Approaching D-Nut.
250 for Tomjet 460.
In Amsterdam now.
Flight level 250.
No, still in Brussels. Whereabouts at the border? Much closer. There's Antwerp.
Yankee on the frequency.
Yeah, right, just on the border between Brussels and Holland. There it is. We're still in Brussels. So D-Nut's about here, and then we'll cross in the eastern part of the English Channel into UK. I just want to see that my frames, it's really poor. The 10 frames, what is going on? Just want to see what is causing this. Donation coming in from Timmy, thank you very much. Perfect stream, Captain. Show yourself in Brno on Explain Sometimes. That is in the Czechia, is it? Czech Republic. Thank you very much for the donation. Yeah, we'll pop into, is it Brno? Apologies if I'm completely...
level 3 departure, rocket level QS.
if I'm completely mispronouncing that there. But thank you very much for the donation on this. Yeah, I just wanted to see about this. I know this ski effects thing can affect your frame rates. I'm only hitting about 20 frames per second.
Ryanair 12 Alpha, London 132.605.
Oh yeah, that's improved the performance slightly. 24.
605.
Oh yeah, look. 15, 4, 20. Oh no, now it's got up. It could be the Ortho 4XB loading in as well, but ski effects on, I'm hitting about 27 frames per second. But if I turn it off, it's the same. So I know some users reported this being on can affect your performance there, but yeah, it's okay. I think it's the Ortho 4XP loading in which sometimes affects my performance. Yeah, I've heard that a few times now. A few aircraft on the old codec there. Yeah, I don't know how that's working. Maybe someone's using the old one or hasn't updated. Not sure. Just occasionally happens.
174, climb level 340.
Oh my god! I've just checked the flight radar. There's so many aircraft. It's crazy. This is the VATSIM flight radar. Sorry, the VATSIM flight map. It's crazy how busy it is now with the new codec coming live. D3 Struct FS, you enjoying the new VATSIM codec? Absolutely. Really, really good. It's a significant improvement on the old one.
North Trans 195.
I think VATSIM should be given a bit more support as well. I don't know how the system works or how it runs and stuff like that, but to have all this available for free for the community is pretty cool. And I have to admit, the controllers I've always had experience with have been very, very good, very true to their real-life counterparts.
Lufthansa 686 Unicron, servus. Control your ring 7185, reflect 60. Skyways 27 Echo Romeo, Roger, squawk on Charlie, please.
Another donation currency coming in from Tau, 25 Rod. We're seeing Bucharest, I guess that's Romanian currency, thank you very much. Any chance you'll fly into Bucharest anytime soon? Scenery is fairly cheap, so well, thank you very much for the donation, Tau. It doesn't matter, I always try and get any payware scenery for any of the requested destinations, but yeah, there's so many places where to go. I certainly know in the Discord I said we'd do a diversion stream, stream America. I've not done any of this stuff. One of the reasons is it's very easy for me to stream in Europe because I have all the Ortho 4XP and stuff. But yeah, we'll add. I've literally wrote down on the list of about 50 different destinations I've got left to do. I still have Bucharest there, but I've just circled it again. So thank you very much, Dan.
As you are below my airspace, monitor Unicron, please 1228. Unicron 1228. Thank you, sir. Lufthansa 441 Yankee. We send your flight plan, please.
Oh dear, someone's having issues with their flight plan. I've had that before on
we set the flight plan for Lufthansa 44 Yankee. Good evening, Marshall. Speedbird 948, flight level 287. Speedbird 948, hello, you identified. Airline 7103, descent flight level 250.
Shallow aviation. So 1639, 1640 should be starting our descent in about 25 minutes from now. Give it another 5 minutes and we'll start setting up for the approach into Manchester, which I think, actually I would appreciate in the chat, you could be my kind of Selkle operators, you can tell me what runways are used. I think it's going to still be runway 05 right for landing, I think it is. I know you can land on 05 left there, but it's been, I haven't landed in Manchester for, what, in reality, 5 years, 6 years maybe, and it's usually runway 23 right for landing, with the prevailing southwesterly winds, but winds coming in from the north today. Oh, look, Manchester Towers just sent me a message. Runway 05 in right in use, so that is very useful. Thanks, Manchester Tower. Now that would be a feature I'd love to have in reality. Alright, thanks a million.
Unicron 1228, thank you, bye-bye, let's 354.
There we go.
North Trans 195, no further ATC into London available as they are all closing. Monitor Unicron 1228. 30.
Another donation coming in from Russell Spears, thank you very much, £2.99. Love to see a rapid depressurisation divert on stream. Yeah, we've had no real major problems live streaming. The worst problem we've ever had is an engine failure once on the Stansted stream where my language coming out of my mouth is absolutely abhorrent, but yeah, I could. Well, I'm certainly looking at doing tutorials again, going back to tutorials again in the future. I'm hoping to get a bit more time off in the winter to be able to make some tutorials as well as just streaming on the side. All I have time for right now is streaming because I don't have to sit down, edit, record, which is a lot more time consuming than streaming. But yeah, we'll certainly look into that. Thank you very much for the donation there. 61 departures in Heathrow, says Matt does things well. Well, that's crazy in VATSIM.
North Shuttle 3731 Milano 127.455. 127.455, Shuttle 3731, cheers.
So what I really like with the VATSIM codec, you see it as a little bit more static with the aircraft that are further away from you. That's a nice feature. Certainly, again, you'd have that if they were really far away. It's really impressive, guys. I'm absolutely like really mind blown how not just the VATSIM codec but everything today. I can mirror precisely real world procedures in the ZIBO mod. I mean, it is so similar to the reality. Some slight differences, especially weather dynamics, like how the aircraft behaves in certain conditions and stuff. But yeah, you really can have an incredibly realistic experience these days. It's phenomenal.
Sky Travel 440 Foxtrot, descend flight level 360.
Right, well, thank you very much, Manchester. No problem. I keep forgetting how to send messages back, but I'm guessing you can hear exactly what I'm saying. We can start getting everything ready for Manchester. So, Star-wise, we're going to have the data alpha. And approach, I'll be ILS 05. It's on right, wasn't it? So ILS 05 right.
Eurowing 7185, request
Then we'll have
Eurowing 7185, Port Bremen 123925.
So I think the controller stepped on the guy there getting his clearance.
Swiss 25 Mike Lima, fly heading 190.
Airports, and I want the air parking stands. Oh no, don't want two of the same. There we go, so I think that's all the charts we need. So landing on 05 right. So I remember reading on 05 right, we cannot vacate at Victor Bravo, you have to, the uniform's the last point, but we'll make the high speed probably Victor Delta or Victor Charlie. And then we'll taxi via these points here, park onto the air.
Sky 42635, Sky 426.
Zach Films, do ATC have to clear you for lower speed under 10,000 feet? Well, typically you are restricted in class D airspace, which most airports have around them. 250 below 100 is mandatory, so you have to apply that speed. ATC can allow you to fly higher, but generally for high energy approaches and certainly the 73, you want to have your speed below 250, below 100, just to help manage everything.
122, das war Eurowings, possible Yankee, when that's there, but
Caroline,
so all the charts we need at least. Let's just check actually the fuel burn with the ZIBO mod, because I think there's been some subtle changes to the flight plan there. So approaching Dibley, let's check the flight plan.
Easy
49 minutes.
Echo Lima, contact Lanyon 127725.
So there is Dibley. So we should have 3.8 tonnes of fuel, 3 tonnes burnt. Well, we took a bit of extra fuel, so it's 3 tonnes burnt I'm interested in. Approaching Dibley, and we should have about...
Ryanair 9 Hotel, no further ATC, monitor Unicorn 1228.
Yeah, look at that, 2.7, that's exactly what I'd expect. They're quite conservatively planned there. So the fuel burn's pretty good still.
Sky Travel 440 Foxtrot, descent flight level 250.
Look at that sunset, lovely.
Scandinavian 4739, descent level 250.
This controller needs to be a little bit more patient. He's stepping on the guys, responding still. He's doing a great job, but sometimes he's reading whilst the other guy's still reading back. So he just gets stepped on.
Broen 01, contact London 127.825.
Still excellent nonetheless.
Romance 01, contact London
I think it's me.
127.825.
127825, broadsword 01. Bye bye. I think he said.
Oh, I'm sorry for the call, sir.
No problem.
Ryanair 100 Tango, report.
What do you say, Bromade? Should we have a new call sign, guys? Bromade. Bromad.
27.25.
Funny.
London Control 2799, holding flight level 240 with you.
2Jet799, London Control, hello.
Oh, that's Matt Davies, isn't it? We heard him the other day as well. Yeah, when I did the members only Discord, Matt Davies gave us ATC going into Edinburgh, which is quite cool. London Centre, good evening. Broadsword 01, maintain flight level 360 Rapix.
Current max speed is 0.75.
So that was 2 people checking in at once.
Ryanair 100 Tango, London, roger, just waiting for the handover from Eurocontrol.
Copy.
London, good day. Broadsword 01, maintain flight level 360 Rapix.
Broadsword 01, roger, same for you, just waiting for the handover.
Perfect. So, I don't know what that exactly means waiting for handover, but I guess I'm not quite in his airspace or anything. My partner's just walked in with the dog. Hi, Jack. Hello. Okay.
London, Scandinavian 805.
Good boy.
Scandinavian 805, passing us.
Hello. Alright, alright. That dog is currently licking my face, jumping up on my chair.
Flight level 160, level by Sabre.
Good boy. See you in a bit.
Descend level 160, level by Sabre, Scandinavian 805.
Perfect. Oh, Matt does these. They have to hand over the flight tag through Euroscope. Is that a VATSIM specific thing? I have no idea.
Flight level 350.
Or maybe that's something that happens behind the scenes every day. I have no idea.
3625 climbing 350.
Certainly, guys, VATSIM controllers will certainly know more than I do because of the ATC procedures.
0362 Neptune 906.
Matthew Schmidt, what kind of dog is it? It's a Labrador, 4.5 years old. Thanks for the Giacomotti Smith as well. I'd really wants to give the dog a hug for me. I will do immediately after this stream.
Navigation direct to Somva, climb flight level 330.
Climb flight level 330, EC42, Mike Juliet.
Oh look, a message coming in from a fellow VATSIM user from Lima Golf Lima 4886. I don't actually know what operator that is. Flight 87, thank you for your content. Well, you're most welcome. And if I could message you back, I would. I keep forgetting how to do it, but I'm sure you can hear me saying thanks. Thanks for the message. Electric Abraham's on. Hi, new to the channel, love it. And do you use Navigraph FMS data and charts? And what do you mean about real captain? Are you a real pilot?
Control, good afternoon, Lufthansa 55, can you hear me?
Oh my god, all going on here. So firstly, using Navigraph, yes, FMS data and charts. I do pay for that subscription there. I am a real 1737 captain for a European operator who does spend what little free spare time he has to stream, share some content with you. So that's what I do. Alberto Delgadillo, thank you very much for your friend's treat. Well, thank you very much, Alberto. I'll go and get him some little bone or something after the stream. Well, actually, Sunday will be closed, but I'll put it in his doggy pot for a treat. Thank you very much, Alberto. Electro Abraham's very... I knew you were going to ask that question. Which airline? I don't specify which airline or tell anyone which airline I work for. That is something I just keep to myself.
London, hello, Ryanair 39 Charlie with you passing to 70.
Oh, he's an Italiano kicking in with the right call sign.
London Control, roger, climb for level 3.
Right, anyway, let's start doing some stuff for Manchester. So we've got the ILS 11155.
Jersey 1 Bravo,
which you can see, look, I started punching in, but we had to
Jersey 1 Bravo,
check in with London. Manchester VOR on standby, 1355. We're just going to stick the flight plan route here. This Matt's very busy, you can hear.
We're staying at flight level 130.
Suez 1405, climb flight level 190.
That is active. Standby, so with ILS active, VOR's on standby. Final approach track of 052. Punch into the MCP.
Shuttle 16 Echo Delta, make that
fantastic! I'm so glad we had got the VATSIM codec working as well. It's so immersive. It is so good.
Jersey 1 Bravo Lima, route direct to Tartan. Direct Tartan, even better.
386 for the minimums. Just cabin ILS heights.
Shuttle 16 Tango, request descent.
Shuttle 16 Tango, make that request. Scottish 135525. Bye bye.
13555, Shuttle 16 Tango, thanks. Bye bye.
And what QNH are we expecting in Manchester? It is right now 1015. So we'll grab the 80 shortly as well anyway as we get a bit closer there. So we're just routing over the English Channel here, making landfall. There's Stansted, got Luton here, Heathrow,
So we just
Broadsword 01, route direct Trent, then fly Dane to Alpha arrival.
Trent Dane to Alpha Manchester, broadsword 01. So we're going to redirect Trent now.
100 Tango, fly direct Trent, then Dane to Alpha arrival.
50. Redirect Trent and Dane to Alpha.
And then Trent Dane to Alpha is expected. So that's a nice shortcut for us. Very good shortcut. So we can go there to LNAV. ZIBO's actually fixed with, we're running a slightly newer version here, 3373. The top descent, if you got a shortcut, didn't reappear, but he's fixed that now, so you still get the top descent generate. New donation coming in from Freckles Aviation. Love that. £2. Thank you very much. I'm Speedbird1405. Nice to see you. Well, not only did you message me saying, hey, are you fly deck sim? Didn't see that there. It is me. Thank you very much for the donation as well, for checking in. Yeah, thanks for popping in on the stream too. I hope you're enjoying your flight. May it continue safely.
Oscar Papa Mike,
Right, let's carry on with the setup anyway, and then we'll have a little chat about what we're going to do.
129.425. Goodbye.
Home, heavy tab, charts, there we go. So just get the top of descent wind page up.
50.
Another donation coming in as well from Craig Bates, thank you very much, £5. How often are you required by HC to change altitude in cruise to avoid traffic? Very good question, Craig, thank you very much for the donation, that's very, very generous as well. So, typically, it depends where you are in Europe anyway, I'm talking about here, AT will try and vector around first, so instead of getting you to climb the descent, they'll actually give you on headings, try and do that, separate you that way. Secondly, when you're on a radar vector, AT can reduce the separation from what I understand as well, if you're at the same flight level. Now, if they can't do that, if there's too much traffic, yeah, they will get you to descend or climb, sometimes just 1,000 feet and then back up to level. It's unusual, but it certainly can happen. So yeah, that's it, Craig. Thank you very much for the donation. Right, anyway, let's jump into the FMC, just pop in the descent winds here. We're obviously using live weather, and there's not much really there, look, 310 21 knots and the rest is pretty much empty, but we always punch it in regardless there. Just helps VNAV, you know, finitely make changes to the VNAV descent profile. Let me know in the chat as well if you can hear me okay over the ATC. I can still fiddle with the volumes. I haven't seen anyone complain, so I think we've got it set up just fine for now.
1355 Jersey 1 Bravo, good evening.
London, hello, Zap 73 Zulu Quebec.
QNH in Manchester, we didn't set it earlier, it was 101, 1015.
315, climb flight level 190.
Definitely got 05 right set in the box, that's good.
130 Zap 73 Zulu Quebec.
And
Zap
lovely
73 Zulu Quebec, level 190.
Climb for level 190.
So that's 3 times our present altitude, just for a rough idea where our top of descent should be. 10 miles for our flat 1 point, and we'll plan to get out flat 15. Present visibility is 10k in Manchester, so that's completely fine to do that. So that's all set. Now, here's a nice little trick for you. If you're expecting vectors after your start, you can build something in the FMC. So this is a neat little trick here. So you can see here at Dane, in the FMC, we're just routing Dane directly to the centre fix. Now, in reality, you know, if you look at the magenta line, it's a little bit untidy, isn't it? It's not. It's a bit of a sharp intercept there, and actually in reality the magenta line would overshoot slightly back onto the next waypoint. So what we're going to do is take the runway QDM for Manchester, which is 052 inbound, and add 90 degrees, so we can make ourselves a little base point there. So if we call it 90 degrees about 4 miles, that should make a nice little base point. So if we call that 142 at 4 miles, so that's the radial from that point, 4 miles there. We'll punch that in after Dane. There we go, and then we'll join that point there. The ZIBO mod is so freaking good. We can do all this now. Execute. There we go. We should now have a little base turn and base leg point generated in the FMC. When ready to send flight level 200, broadsword 01. So that's when ready, so we can just set 200 now.
You said when ready, flight level 120, Rhino 100 Tango.
Rhino 100 Tango, flight level 21021.
So 200 set, 40 miles to top descent, so the aircraft would basically descend automatically. So yeah, sorry, as I was creating, what I've done is create a little base point. That allows VNAV to give you slightly better guidance for your vertical profile, especially on the approach phase there. And it's more realistic to what you're going to be doing on the approach there. 3,000 feet and 3,000, so we're going to change this to at or above just to make sure the aircraft doesn't level off early. Otherwise VNAV's going to plan a level segment. And then let's just make sure the speed's coming back. So yeah, we're planning CF001, it's planning 192. Ideally, let's stick the speed back to 180 knots or below. That's the recommended speed on base leg or, by AKO, so we're going to 180 knots or below at this point. There we go, so that's the FMC pretty much programmed how I'd do it exactly if I was flying this particular approach, to make sure it's all correct. So, that's all, everything's set up, plugged in as we want. We're cleared when ready to send flight level 200, so just briefly stepping through everything. If we go to the charts, we need that, sorry, airport. So the start, day 2 Alpha.
Control 2799 requesting vectors for the runway.
So day 2 Alpha, it's all set there. Flight level 200 by Lakey. We've already been given I direct to Trent, so that no longer applies. I don't think that's our routing anyway. That's why that's not clear at all. So use this one, I think, guys. There we go. So our routing's going to take us for no, hold on. I've got the wrong star here. Daily arrival. I was looking for daily there. Excuse me. How unprofessional. I'm just getting the day 2 Alpha.
Charles 7652, descend flight level 100, best rate of descent, please.
This one.
100 and
approach. No, not approach, it's arrival. Dane to Alpha. Helps if I brief the right chart, guys. There we go. So we're coming in via Trent, we're routing direct to that waypoint there, which is, as you can see, is selected the FMC. We then have a speed limit point 5 miles after Trent, 250 knots or below, which is in the FMC, the Delta 312 Echo, and then it's to Dane, and you can see at Dane, it is a requirement to be at flight level 80, I certainly know it is, yeah, Dane to Alpha, flight level 80 by Dane, so we'll leave that as a hard level there, and then it's going to be vectors. Now if you get to Dane, you haven't been vectored yet, you just have to enter the hold, direct entry, right hand turns, inbounds on the 312. Otherwise we're going to expect vectors, and you can see, look, do not proceed beyond Dane without ATC clearance. So we're going to get vectors after that, and the ILS approach is all set up. Vectors for the ILS, platform is 3,000, intercept the ILS at 8.7 miles and 3,000 feet. It's a 3-degree ILS. You can check that's coded in the FMC. Yes, it is. Glide path 3 degrees. Down to the minimums, 386 feet. That is also set. And to go around, if we have to do a missed approach, is climb. Oh, it's slightly different. Climb to 3,500 feet, 700 feet, right turn onto track 186, and is directed. So it's just a heading select, missed approach, right turn onto the heading 186 vectors, then most likely for another approach. So that's it. That's the approach and ILS, and then we can expect to land on 05 right. We'll plan to make the first high speed at Victor Delta. Now obviously we do the Boeing OPT performance exactly, make sure we're happy with the performance there, but I reckon flat 30 on a break 2 should suffice. Victor Delta, vacating Victor, crossing 05 left, and then we'll find out what stand we're parking on as we get a bit closer. So that's it. I hope that all makes sense. I'm happy. Any questions, leave it in chat and I'll try and answer it to you whilst I can, because it's obviously very busy today. Craig Bates coming in with another donation. Thank you very much on a $5. That's very generous. Again, thank you. If you descend from cruise and later climb again, do you need to do anything pressurization settings? That's a flipping good question, actually. Firstly, it would be very unusual to climb, descend and then climb again, only if you're doing a missed approach. But no, if you've already started the descent phase, there's no need to really update anything. If you wanted to, let's say you were diverting and going really high, I'd probably update the flight altitude again, but it's important that you update the land altitude of your new destination as well. But that's pretty much all you have to do there.
Left heading 350 degrees.
Roger, left heading 350 degrees.
That's all pretty much it. I need a breather here. So yeah, we'll leave the star chart on. Matt's cleared us to descend when ready, flight level 200 in Matt's Trent, so we don't have to tell him, you know, we're descending, you just let the aircraft descend, unless he specifically says, yeah, reports, you know, when descending.
Easy 95 Zulu Tango landing control, roger, Typod 1 Echo arrival.
My friend from Greece, I can't even pronounce your surname. Greetings, Captain. A bit late today, but life gets in the way. Well, thank you, unless we're popping in now. Coming at a great time, if I'm honest.
To Penhill, climb flight level 240.
Climb flight level 240, direct Penhill, Shamrock to Golf Charlie.
Water Express 3321, turn left heading 325.
Craig, I didn't realise you remember. What's your name in the Discord? Sorry. Thanks again for the donations. I didn't realise you remember. You might have a different name there, but yeah. Always, if you have any questions there, man, just answer it. It's something I'm not 100% sure, and it lets me look it up, and I continue to learn too, because there's stuff that you always need to know as an airline captain. Your SOPs, the ops manual, QRH, the memory items, but certain things, there's technical stuff. You don't look at that for 3 or 4 months, you just have to quickly refresh that over FCOM 2. So it's good, if you ask those sort of questions, so we can look at it together. Right, there we go, there's top of descent.
London Center, Ryanair 9 Yankee, heading 340 overhead land.
Descending to 200.
Ryanair 9 Yankee.
Let's see how Vina behaves today.
Heading 325, and you can climb for level 240.
John Monroe, going to pass right over your house. You're 12 miles north of East Midlands. You'll be sure to wave. Thank you very much. I'll wave too. Yeah, right over the top of EMA, Echo Golf November X-Ray. So there we are, idle thrust. Target speed we're looking for is .77 initially on conversion to 8.4. So it looks like it's increasing slightly. Let's just keep an eye on it. We might have to increase drag slightly. But it looks like it's fine. Generally, the faster you go, you get a bit more parasitic drag and the aircraft stops accelerating anyway. And that's modelled quite realistically in X-Plane. Jonathan Girard, are you using the default weather engine or is this an add-on? It is a third-party plugin I'm using, Active Sky, which I'm sure you've heard of, which is providing at least the weather information. I think they do have a cloud texture set as well. But yeah, it's the one I'm using in the background. If you want to know what plugins I'm using, you can also scroll down the video description. It explains what I have.
Delta 5547, descend flight level 250.
Descent flight level 250, Delta 5547.
Sledgehammer, hi, I'm in the midst of discussion on Discord regarding the wing lights. Do you usually turn them on before takeoff and when below flight level 100, or are they solely for inspection purposes? So yeah, it could be, again, airline specific. We don't use the wing on or wing off lights routinely in normal operations at my operator. You'd use it in icing conditions perhaps, to see if you've got any ice build-up on the leading edges at night. But yeah, we don't use them otherwise here. But I know certain operators do use it. Oh, I knew I'd forgotten something. We said flat 30 or break 2, didn't we? So yeah, fuel 3.7. We need alternate 2.63 minutes. So we've got enough for about 15-20 minutes of holding. 600 kilos to burn. That's going to 61 tons. Flat 30 or to break 2. And we'll use second D10 first.
East 011 Rosie, Ashmark 21 Kilo 3.
Speed with 81 Delta, you up.
Dangle plebs. Well, it's a bit it's a little bit off par there. But, no, passengers can be a little bit loud, but just let them crack on. But, if they're being disruptive, that's an issue. And the cabin crew are trained to deal with those situations. But if it gets to the point where we're having to, call police or something, we try and avoid that where possible. Another donation coming in from Dougal. Thank you very much. £5 there. I know you do pop in these streams occasionally, and I know you like to pop in other people's streams. Many thanks for your vids and dedication to the community. The likes of yourself and V1 Simulations give us the best training available. Huge thanks there. Well, thank you very much for the donation. That's very generous, Dougal. And for those who don't know, V1 Simulations, he is an Airbus first officer or captain. I'm not sure which one, but he's doing exactly what I'm doing, albeit for the Airbus. So if you want to go learn that aircraft, go watch his streams. I'd like to say you'd like to come here to watch, to fly the 737, but certainly good enough. Captain Panner, bank angle 25 degrees, excellent work.
Flight level 150.
Broken. Ryanair 12 Alpha radar 118.575.
So I'm going to try and also listen out as well, because we're probably going to get a frequency change too.
Manchester, what was the frequency? Ryanair
118.575.
Over to Manchester 118.575. Ryanair 125.
707 Papa 10 right heading.
So you see all these people trying to check in as well. It's very, very busy.
Right heading 172 degrees.
So he went to Manchester.
Broadsword 01, fly heading 325.
Heading 325 degrees, broadsword 01. I think that's for us. I hope it was.
Well, control Austrian 14 Lima, inbound sourcing flight level 150 with you. Good afternoon.
Austrian 14
I'll confirm with him, because I'm not 100% sure that was for us. If you could play back the video and tell me if it was broadsword 01, but I think it was. But we'll go on the heading anyway. It's a bit early to go on the heading and a heading like this, but it could be for avoidance.
Descent 070 by Diport Austrian 14 Lima.
G2 Jet 479, descend to altitude 3,000 feet.
It was you, Stuart. Thank you very much.
Roger, 3000 feet, 2 Jet 470.
2 Jet 799.
So one of the things that, you know, when you become, when you start flying commercially, you get used to hearing your call sign. Now, obviously, I'm used to broadsword as my call sign now, so you get quite good at, you know, I'm listening to the chat behind you guys, but you can usually get quite good at hearing your call sign in the background.
4,000 feet, 101570, so
On the control radar 156 with you on a heading of 100.
So we're still on the heading. You see we're still pretty much paralleling our VNAV path here. Actually, this is something here I've just noticed. Why is the magenta line updating? So this is incorrect. So I need to make a note of this for ZIBO. So you can see here, we're on this heading. We should be moving away from this magenta line, but we're not. The magenta line is like updating its path, which is not correct. I want to see the crosstrack error. Yeah, the crosstrack error is... So this is a bug at the moment. You see we're on a heading. We should be moving away from the magenta line, but that magenta line is constantly updating. It's as if I'm updating Trent executing like instantaneously. Trent execute, Trent execute. Look, the magenta line's tracking with us. That shouldn't be happening. We should be moving away from the magenta line, and our cross-check error should be increasing the further away you are from the magenta line. So that's a little bug there. With the mods. Right, approaching 1 to go to vertical speeds, 1,000 feet. Now what this is obviously going to put us high, so what I'm going to do is just remove some energy from the aircraft. We've not been given any speed control, but I'm just going to bring the speed to 250 knots, and then we can convert this kind of potential energy into kinetic when we get further descent. So you're just removing energy from the aircraft by bringing the speed back. It gets a bit more difficult if ATC give you a specific speed control, but that's what I'm doing there anyway. Jason Mann and Flight Sim is Matt Davies. Yes, we know. We realised when we checked in. He gave us some ATC coverage in Edinburgh the other week as well, a few days ago as well.
Level 300.
So Matt's really busy. So I'd ideally like to, you know, nudge him, say, you know, request further descent, we'll see what we do. In reality, I would be like, ATC, yeah, request further descent. But in reality, they're very good at knowing where that you want further descent as well.
2799.
Oh, I just got in there. That's my opportunity.
Direct right for A firm 134.
Cheers.
Express 3321, request descent.
So that's fine. You see, we're still getting high. So again, just further bring the speed back, bring back to 220 knots. Not an issue. You know, no speed control. Just reduce energy from the aircraft. But yeah, very busy. It's just like London in reality.
leaving your airspace.
10 flight level 80, broadsword 01. So I just about heard Matt there.
Speed 829, contact you to director 119.
Level change. So that is set. Level change. And now, put the speed back, we can accelerate back to our target descent speed. Albeit vomit comet. So 284 knots, yeah, that's a little bit aggressive in pitch, but you would get a higher rate of descent, but it was a little bit quick getting up to 4,000 or 5,000 feet per minute. You'd probably feel a little sick in the back, so it needs to be tweaked slightly not to be quite as aggressive in pitch, but that's more realistic now. Yeah, you would sustain a rate of descent of 4,500 feet per minute, which is a little bit quick getting there. Right, I'll pop the seatbelt sign on, about 15 minutes left.
Contact London 133.7, bye-bye.
And look at that, see how we remove the energy back to our target speed, bang on VNAV. That's pretty much how it works in reality. Blocked.
Ryanair 156, contact
So another thing that happens, if people keep stepping on each other and there's no response, you know, if one of you says blocked, the radar controller knows that, you know, no one was listening. So yeah, look, you see that magenta line is constantly updating, which is not correct at all. So I'll let ZIBO know, you can let him know in the forum as well, he'll fix that within 10 minutes probably.
On the other side, but you can either fly the visual or position for the RNAV, I don't really care which.
So you can see as well, look how VNAV performance is getting skewed. That's normal because we're off the magenta line now. So I'm actually going to go level change, and we'll descend with idle thrust here. And that's normal, guys. VNAV is trying to stay on the magenta line, but if you're off the magenta line, it won't give you an accurate descent rate. So you don't want to be using VNAV right now. So that's completely completely normal. So if you see your VNav's not working correctly, it's probably because you're off the magenta line. So we're just going to go level change, allow the aircraft to continuously descend. And remember, we've got that speed limit point, D312 Echo. I know we're not routing to that point, but we're going to comply with that restriction of beam at least 250 knots.
110 right now, 1 Tango.
Broadsword 01, turn left, direct Dane, speed 250 knots.
Directed Dane, reduced 250 knots, broadsword 01. So we've got 250 already, kind of knew that was coming anyway. And then Dane executes and engage LNerve. So there we go, 250 knots. That is a speed restriction from AC, so we need to comply. That has left us about 1,000 feet high. We're going to monitor that, so we don't need to do anything too drastically there. We might have to deal with that accordingly. Burner 737, you talk too much, I guess I do. And if you're unfamiliar with procedures, you might know what the hell I'm talking about. I can slow that pace down if you so wish, but I do try and explain everything I'm doing in quite a dynamic environment.
Air 112, if you're up, climb flight level 240.
So yeah, 1,600 feet high. Keep an eye on that. If we're going to get some sort of delayed vectors, that's fine, but if we're going to get straight in, we'll use speed brake to recapture the profile. It's a guessing game half the time, trying to work out where you are in the sequence. What's going to happen? Oh my goodness me, look at the... look at how much ATC there is. Kind of cheating here. I didn't get the ATIS either. We're going to put Manchester Approach here. Well, it's not 19998. Why is there no Manchester Approach?
90 direct boarding.
118570, so I'll put that on standby.
ZAP 730 Quebec request turn en route.
ZAP 730 Quebec, on navigation director Shap.
There we go, so Manchester on standby. I'm going to put the dome light, so it's going to get a little darker.
Own nav direct Shap, contact London 133.
So we're going to use just a bit of speed brake here, because we're about 2,000 feet per minute.
01, contact London, not London, Manchester radar 118575, bye bye.
118575, broadsword 01. Have a great evening, bye. So 118575. New membership coming in as well. Alex Kitching, thank you very much for the membership. Welcome to the channel. You're automatically invited to our members only Discord, where you have a little bit more of a personal insight into my day-to-day life as an airline pilot, and coming soon, members only live streams. Right, so we've got Manchester Approach. We don't have the ATIS. That's my fault, because I was a little bit busy there and I didn't get the weather. So we can't copy the information, but we'll check in nonetheless. And we've got Manchester Approach here. Manchester Approach, good evening, broadsword 01, descending flight level 80, direct Dane, speed 250 knots, we have QNH 1015.
Broadsword 01, good afternoon, Manchester radar standby.
Good, so he's busy.
Right, 112, contact Manchester Tower 118.625, bye bye.
Over to Manchester Tower 118.625, radio 112.
There we go.
Broadsword 01, good afternoon, Manchester radar, vectoring for nice approach runway 05 right. Descend flight level 60.
Vectors runway 05 right, descend flight level 60, broadsword 01. So, flight level 60 is set. I've just started speed brakes, going quite nicely onto profile now.
Broadsword 01, turn left heading 260 degrees.
Left heading 260 degrees, broadsword 01. So I don't know, I think the speed brake for me felt a little bit more effective than I'd expect. You know, we're back on profile a little quicker than I thought. In reality, the speed brake's useless in real life, just makes the aeroplane shake a lot, especially around 230, 250 knots or so. But on the heading, vectors now for the approach, and we're passing flight level 160, so we do the post-cruise check, so fuel pumps, lights on.
Broadsword 01, avoiding action, turn right heading 360 degrees.
Crikey. Right heading 360, broadsword 01. Avoiding action. Oh my goodness, that made me nervous. Right, so immediately on that heading, I'm going to go vertical speed and slow that rate of descent down, because we're no longer going to be going inbound here, so we're just going to get low if we keep descending at level change there. So avoiding action, quite interesting. Let's see if we get a TCAS, TA or RA there. Right, let's finish the post-cruise check. APU's off, pressurization 3.0 set, seatbelts on, recall. There we go, post-cruise checks are at least complete. Hopefully no one will hit the side of the aeroplane. Jason Madden, flight sim, I wish I could donate, but just got from holiday on Friday, got an airport transfer bus through my security. Jason, and to anyone else here, there is absolutely zero requirement for any donations. You know, I
spend a lot of my free time providing this content. I enjoy doing it, and I've run things like the membership to provide a bit more of an experience. There's absolutely no need at all. But thank you very much for suggesting that. But no requirement.
Please
Thank you.
again forward Express 3321.
World Express 3321.
So let's go vertical speed 500 because we're now going miles away from the airport. There's no point getting any lower than this.
Hold Dane and descent flight level 80.
Tim's coming in with his bet again. I'm going to guess the landing rate will be -163, 20 quid bet.
Forward 01 expedite descent to altitude, correction, expedite descent to flight level 60, please.
Expedite descent flight level 60, broadsword 01. So now we're getting really shot in the foot because he wants us to go down quickly, which is rubbish for our vertical profile.
Broadsword 01, turn left heading 230 degrees.
Left heading 230 degrees, broadsword 01. So this is really screwing up with our descent profile. You know, he wants to get down as soon as possible, which is putting us low. There's nothing we can do about it, so we will have a level segment at 60. So, you know, yes, ideally we'd like to do a CDA for noise, but there's nothing you can do. So we're just going to basically keep it going down as quick as we can to 60 with the speed brake out. Now, actually, I was saying the speed brake felt a bit draggy. Now it looks a little bit more realistic. 2,300 feet per minute with speed brake. That's what I'd certainly expect. Sorry, what was the bet, Tim? Anything above that you owe me. 163 per minute or 20 quid. Alright, you're on. But no bet. Okay, I'll tell you what, we'll get another milk or something. Right, so we're down at 60. Let's slow the speed brake. We'll maintain 250. We're just riding on top of the clouds now. Very, very nice. Look at that. Beautiful. You can just have such an incredible immersive experience from a desktop simulator now. It's cracking. It's really, really good. Unruly Monster, are there any speed requirements for full speed brake? Nope, there's no speeds. It's a little bit more uncomfortable if you are at a higher speed there. And look at that, you know that waypoint I made earlier? We can just route direct to that waypoint again, execute. Look at that. Very, very nice for the vectors. FSJN plus 700 like in the Robin. Oh, that just reminds me, you guys linked me that plugin for the landing rate. I forgot to install it, so we're still relying on the flipping.
Manchester radar, Rhino 1 Tango is with you.
Still relying on the dodgy one from Project Fly.
Rhino 100,
which isn't quite, it looks like your actual physical rate of climb descent on the IVSO.
Proto 01, send altitude 5,000 feet, QNH1015.
So now altitude 5,000 feet, QNH1015, broadsword 01. Please make it say 5 like we should do properly. QNH1015 is set, passing 5,900 feet for 5,000, no flags, and the standby altimeter is set 1015. And what you see is exactly what I do every day. You know, I'm mirroring what I do in the real separate. Speed 220 knots, broadsword 01. So profiles, again, we're looking a little low, so we're just going to go 220 knots now. Vertical speed 500 feet per minute. That's kind of like the minimum required from ATC. Well, there isn't, but that's usually en route what they'd expect you to at least be able to do. Thomas, no Brega, would a dual clock or FMC failure prompt an emergency landing? No, not at all. A bit more workload, but certainly not an emergency situation.
331 when leaving Dane, heading 240.
Broadsword 01, send altitude 3,000 feet.
Just said 3,000 feet, broadsword 01. So 3,000 feet set.
Rhino 1, correction, Rhino 100 Tango, send flight level 80. Set flight level 80.
So just going to do the approach checklist now, so let's get rid of the star charts. Here's the ILS, so we've got the frequencies 11155 active. Fixtures are all correctly set for runway 05 right, 10 and 4. We're just waiting for the idents. The ILS X-plane has a habit of leaving that really late, and the inbound courses of 052 are set. Approach checks are done. Ah, lovely sunset approach here. We timed this perfectly. I didn't actually have any plans for that. It's just coincidentally looking this good. There's the ident for the ILS. What is the ident? India Mike Charlie. There we go. 1115. India Mike Charlie. All looking good.
Rhino 100 Tango, then flight level 70.
Please
So,
flight level 70.
got the taxiway charts ready for Manchester, because I'm probably going to get lost here.
Broadsword 01, turn right heading 320 degrees, speed 180 knots.
Riding 320 degrees and roof speed 180 knots, broadsword 01. So 320, and he wants 180 now, so we're going to bug the up speed and now select flap 1. There we go. We don't do many external views, we should do a few more. Fantastic. And into the soup we go. So now we can update direct to CF05 right. Just keep it descending. And he wants 180, so we can only really give him 185. So we're going to go flap 2. And for some... Oh no, that's flaps up. Don't do that. Flaps up. Flaps 2. We can now bug 180. Yeah, you never want to bug below your flap speeds. That's really dangerous. So we're doing some sort of continuous descent at least. It's working out okay. So 8 degrees into the cloud it goes, so we pop the engine anti-ice on. Very inefficient descent, but okay.
Right heading 020 degrees, clear, let's approach runway 05 right.
Riding 020 degrees on the heading, cleared ILS 05 right, broadsword 01. So there we go, heading is good, correct sensing, localised on the left, glide slope slightly above, we can arm approach.
Broadsword 01, no ATC speed restriction.
Free speed, broadsword 01. Well, we'll keep it at 180, otherwise we'll never get there. But there we are, into the cloud we go. Right, approach is armed, forelock, glide slope armed, 1,000 feet to go, we can just really shallow off that rate of descent. Manchester Approach also messaged me, thanks for the help there. Radar training session at the moment, no problem at all. You can tell whoever's being trained is doing a fantastic job.
Ford Express 331, what is our expected approach?
Oh, very good. Right, localizer slowly dragging in, there's localizer, live localizer capture, so runway heading, 052 set. I would expect the aircraft to start turning now, there we are. Here comes glide slope capture. We'll go flat 5 now. Match speeds and glide slope capture. Missed approach altitude 3,500
Manchester radar, good evening, running 9 Yankee, about to hold it down. 9 Yankee, roger. Running 100.
Oh my god, did you guys hear that? Oh, my ear's about to blip. Sorry, what is going on?
Running 100, Tango speed 222.
Did you hear that? My ears just exploded. I don't have my eardrums left, I'm going to have to call in sick tomorrow. Broadsword 01, fully established, 05 right, just past 10 miles.
Broadsword 01, contact Manchester Tower 118.625, bye bye.
Tower 118.625, Broadsword 01, bye. Look at the chat, I know my ears as well, guys. I'm going to have to pull apart my eardrums shortly. No idea what caused that, but that happened when I was testing it on the codec the other day as well. Right, tower is tuned. Manchester Tower, very good evening. Broadsword 01, fully established, ILS 05 right, 8 miles.
Broadsword 01, Manchester Tower, very good evening to you as well. Runway 05 right, clear to land, surface wind 020 degrees, 13 knots. Traffic is a Papa Cherokee, turning right down on runway 05 right.
Runway 05 right, clear to land, Broadsword 01. So wind's coming 02013, so slight crosswind from the left, pretty much there's traffic in the pattern as well. It's his job to stay away from me, so it's all looking good. 10 degrees now, probably put the engine anti-ice off. Leave the start switches continuous, that's where we need them for landing, so there's not much point leaving that there. Assad Casino Y, is the approach button on the MCP not illuminating? Is that a bug? No, that's completely normal. When you intercept the glide slope, that disappears. We'll put Manchester Ground 121850 on standby as we can just see the airport coming into view. Right, and we'll wait until about 4 DME to configure, as we try and do every single day. All looking good. Right, let's get myself comfortable as well. Joysticks in the right place, rudder pedals are in the right place as well. So far, again, this is ZIBO mod. If you haven't updated recently, if you go to 3.37, the latest one,
There's a few little quirks we saw, especially with that magenta line, but otherwise it's certainly fantastic enough to easily land. Tim Fraser saying no pressure. Oh, I can't remember what you said. Minus 163. I could be financially in trouble here. Right, approaching 4 miles and gear down. Flap 15. Match speed. Landing checklist to flap start. Switches continuous. Wrinkles check. Speed brakes. On green light. Landing gear down 3 green. Order brake set to 2. Just wait for the landing flap. Flap 30. What was the wind? He said 02013. So we'll add a couple knots extra. Vera plus 7 should be fine. So flaps. 30 green light. Anti-ice is off. And landing lights are on. We've been cleared to land. Checklist is complete. Right. So looking good. Adam Cash, I'm flying over your house. Well, I'll be sure to open the window and wave. Right, 60% HM1. It's been right for flap 30 this way. Right, disconnecting autopilot, auto throttle.
121.85,
I can't remember where this is. Manchester City. Where did I get this one from? I think it's UK 2000. I certainly had an issue with it before taxiing. Like, the taxiways were really sticky, but I think that seems to have fixed itself.
Approaching
Alex Kitchen, good luck. We're all counting
5,
on you.
right.
Well, thank you very much. And MSGM, brace for impact. Yes, if you wish to use the brace emoji, feel free to do so. And get your landing rate guesses in as well. You know, it's just for a bit of fun. Minus 163. I need to have less than that, otherwise I owe Tim another, what was it, 20 quid? We'll see what we could do. Right, top of the amber bar on the altitude, that's 500 HL. We're fully stabilised, speed's good. Pappy's 2 reds, 2 whites. Oh, glide slow. Keep it descending. Nice and stable this evening. No excuses. Nice long runway for me to float it out as well. Check, 3 reds, just a slight change in pitch. There we go, back on the Pappies.
Minimum.
Continue, slightly right of centre line, but not a major problem.
50, 40, 30,
Check,
20,
close,
10.
hold the attitude, just get a little bit of rudder. Oh, where is the runway? Keep holding it off. There we go, I think that was good. Speed brakes up, floated out though. Reversers we have 2 normal. And we've got 73%. 100 knots. 80. I've cancelled the brake now, so we're just letting the aircraft roll with the reverse thrust and back to idle. Now that's fine. Usually we're about 60 actually. And now I'm braking manually again. And we'll take the first high-speed exit, which I think was Victor Delta. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Manchester. So high speed, you can approach at about 45 knots. Let the aircraft roll. We'll stow the reversers now. And we'll put the flaps up. Stow the speed brake. Just let the aircraft roll. And it want to be about 30 knots. No more than that for this turn. Broadsword 0 on for runway 05 right, vacated at Victor Delta.
Broadsword 01, taxi, Homework Delta Zulu 1 via Victor.
Taxi holding point Delta Zulu 1 via Victor, Broadsword 01. Right, where the world is that? Delta Zulu 1. Alright, I've found it on the chart. So, I'll show you very briefly. I'll get rid of the ILS chart before we do the rest of the cleanup. We're going to keep going on this parallel taxiway. This is where it gets very difficult in the distance. Actually, why have I never thought of doing this? There we go. Why have I never done that before? That's much better. So there's Delta Zulu. We're going to keep going in a straight line until we're there. We'll do the rest of the cleanup whilst we're taxiing in as well. Very good. What was the landing rate? I saw someone said 120 or something. Oh, I hope I'm not on the grass. Hope I'm not on the grass. There we go. So out off. Trim about 4 units nose up. There we are. That's now set. To off. Flight directors off. Set that to 4,100. Just any altitude plus 100 feet. Landing lights off. Start switches. Auto. Strobes go to steady. Pop the logo light on now as well. And the probe's off. There we are. Taxi and flow is complete. As a 1-engine taxi in, I'm actually going to wait a bit longer because we had problems before here with like sticky taxiways. Now I've lost the chart. Where are we? Delta 6 next left. Thank God for virtual charts.
Manchester Tower.
So yeah, don't cross an active runway. You know, you have to hold a Delta Zulu. Yeah, you don't want to go past that at all.
Wild Express 3321. Continue approach with number 2.
Where is the stop bar? There's no stop bars there, so I'm just going to go to a stop there. That'll be fine. Broadside 01 holding Delta Zulu. I hope.
50, 40, 30, 20,
Tim.
10.
Tim Fraser, 20 quid.
Wild Express 3321.
I guess I did it less than
1, confirmed 005
I'll have a chat
right.
with you later. Jesus, Pete. Where's this guy here? I'll just let this guy respond. But we're definitely at Delta Zulu, aren't we?
05 right for Express 3321.
At Broadsword 01, holding Delta Zulu. 1.
Broadsword 001, hold position.
Hold position, Broadsword 01. So I guess there's traffic there. So we'll just put the parking brake on. And that's why it's not a great idea to shut an engine down. Because if you shut the engine down when you're stationary, you can sometimes not have sufficient thrust on the remaining engine to get the aircraft moving. Tim, you need to, you know, I don't know what to say. I'll have a chat with you later again. I know a bet's a bet, but still.
Approaching 05 right.
Carl Sangri, yeah, weather radar, fantastic. I'm glad you're still here.
Go around, acknowledge.
Oh, who's going around?
Please say again forward Express 3321.
Wild Express 3321, runway 05, right, go around, say again, go around, acknowledge.
Roger, going around to 05 right toward
Look at the
Express
traffic.
3321.
Is that him going around? Look at the traffic coming, that's really cool. So someone's going around. No one's landed on the runway after us. I'd be staring out the window like this saying, what? Oh! Where did he go? Did he check out? Or did he crash? Whoever went around or whoever was on short finals disappeared.
Wild Express 3321, turn right.
So very busy here.
Times 3,000 feet.
Sagi, did you go to the Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 Global Preview? I did, and if you look, I uploaded a video on my thoughts of that Global Preview event about 2 weeks ago.
Afternoon, Manchester Tower, Ryanair 100 Tango. Established on the localizer runway 05 right, 8 miles.
Oh, well, I don't know, I might start a campfire or something. I don't know why we have the whole position. It's usually because someone would be occupying the runway.
Ryanair
Might be a departure I'm not aware of. We're obviously still on tower here.
Continue approach,
So you're on the
05 right, number 1,
taking
Ryanair
off.
100 Tango.
Everyone's landing.
001,
There we go.
cross runway 05, left, taxi on Delta 1.
Cross 05 left, holding point Delta 1, broadsword 01. There we go, we are cleared to cross the runway. So yeah, and I went for, when we cleared to cross a runway, we still confirm both of us that we both heard that clearance, and we popped the strobes on as well at night, just, well, and at day, just to increase the visibility there. And then we're just going to Delta 1, which is just here.
Approaching.
Andrew
2,
Nelson, how do
3
you
right.
handle charts in the real world? Well, we have our charts just on iPad, just like this. And yeah, the FO would write the taxi instructions in the scratch pad here, and then I'd refer to that as whilst I'm taxiing. You've got the beauty here of a 3D map with a moving aircraft as well. So we've been told to hold short at Delta 1, so we can't go any further than this. And then put strobes back to steady.
Broadsword 001, contact ground 121.850.
121.850, broadsword 01. Good night. Right, 121.850. And this is where it gets fun. I have no idea where I'm going. Manchester ground, good evening. Broadsword 01, vacated runway 05 left, holding at Delta 1. Hello?
Australia 01, Manchester ground. Hello, do you understand the preference?
No.
Australia 01, Roger, taxi stand. Actually, hold position, I'll call you back, sorry about that.
Hold position, broadsword 01. I think he asked, are you familiar, or do you know where you are? But I have absolutely no idea where I'm going. And sometimes, if you go to an airport that's new for the first time, they can ask you, are you familiar with it? Oh, I'm quite glad. Look, I'm holding position. Look, there's a Scandinavian Airlines crossing right in front of us. So yeah, it's always, if you're unsure, stop the aircraft, confirm the routing, and go from there. I wonder where he's going. Very quiet. I understand X-Pilot as well, the other
ATC plug-in. You can hear external noise from other aircraft, which is pretty cool as well. I can't get a hurry on though because I've got a flight to catch in real life in about 3 hours, and I've got so much left to do as well. Oh dear. Graham, what is your call sign? Got it down as Coast Rider. It's Broadsword. I love that.
Broadsword, Roger, Broadsword 01 taxi, stand 11 via Kilo and Juliet Echo.
Stand 11 via Kilo, Juliet, Echo, Broadsword 01. Thank you very much. Right, so let's have a look here. So Juliet's there, Kilo is up there, and Echo, and I just need a stand chart. And this is the beauty in reality, you know, you'd actually know where that stand is because you'd know where you're parking there. But I can see it on my other chart. So Juliet, Kilo. Where is stand 11? I can't even see it. Oh, it's like a remote. I can see 10 and 12. Where the hell is stand 11? Oh, got it. Juliet, Kilo. So I'm going to take a right onto Kilo here. Kilo, stand 11 is just here in the corner on Bravo. That's what you need for the first officer.
Let's go. Good evening, Golf Echo Echo Kilo Charlie Bravo 1.
Golf Echo Echo Golf.
I think this is the right way anyway. Let's get the AQ started.
Hello, do you have a parking place of preference?
Oh, is that what he said? Parking place of preference? I just said no.
Golf Kilo Charlie, Golf Kilo Charlie even. Hold position, I'll call you back.
So there's Delta.
Hold position, Golf Kilo Charlie.
Kilo, and then we're going to take Juliet, which I can't actually see on the chart I've got. But if I go take the next left, oh, Juliet Echo, not Juliet then Echo. The taxiway's called Juliet Echo. Understood. Juliet Echo though. So this is the next left here. Got you. The SAS is going to Stockholm. Cool. Why do airports have like double barrel taxiways? Juliet Echo. I'm looking for Juliet and Echo independently. Right, anyway, there's stand 15. And actually, bizarrely, the next stand is stand 11 between the two. There we are. AP is available. We'll pop that on the bus, and it looks like we don't have the sticky taxiways that we had the issue for, so we'll shut down engine number 2. There is stand 11.
Flyer 16 Papa, stand 148 is type Embraer 175. With information Echo QNH 1015 request.
I love how the lights illuminate in X-Men 11, that's really cool.
Flyer
We don't want to blind the ground crew, so...
you seem to have filed a question at Sam's departure. Can you refile for a list due to the fact we're on 05 and not running 2 frees?
So, we're going to get the guidance today. No, it looks like we're not getting any guidance from the SAM system. I thought I'd updated that, but we'll put the air bridge down anyway. There we are. Excellent. We are on stand, so we'll set the parking brake. Right, there we go. So, 2 blues, 1 red, engines are dead. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Manchester. Local time, 6:15, let's call it, no stuff for the hour there. And I certainly know they want you to log off VATSIM pretty quickly at the moment because of the limited slots they have. So we'll get off there as soon as we can to allow someone else to take our connection there. So disconnecting, fantastic. Oh, I should have sent a message to Manchester Ground to say thanks for the service. So disconnected from there, and I've also got to disconnect from the voice client too. Fantastic, guys. I'm just going to finish the Project Fly flight as well, so we don't get any secondary landing rates whilst we do the replay. So complete flight, that is now done. Complete Project Fly, I can turn off here. We better just do the transit shutdown flow as well. So anti-collision light off, open there, we'll do the transit flow. That's pretty much it. Squawk is 2000 standby. There we are. And we'll I won't drop the air stairs because on the replay view you'll have the air stairs displaying. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Welcome to Manchester, as I said already. I hope you enjoyed that live stream. Here we are on stand 11. Fantastic. ATC. I think that's the first time we've had a complete flight from A to B with ATC the whole way. The new VATSIM codec seems to be fantastic. I'm really impressed with it, and well done for VATSIM for catching up with the times and creating a fantastic online virtual experience. I mean, I'm really impressed. I really thought it's fantastic. I mean, I can mirror real-world procedures and conditions so accurately now in a desktop simulator. It's really, really good. So yeah, without further ado, of course, we'll start the replay music, and we'll have a look at that landing again, which actually earned me 20 quid thanks to Tim. Thank you very much again for that donation. Right, let's get ourselves to just above the approach. There we are. We obviously want to see what the landing looked like from the threshold first. It's so fiddly. There we are. And let's take a look on the runway there. Another donation coming in from Dave Rofen. Thank you very much. A couple of quid there. Learned so much from your streams. Well, appreciate the donation there. I'm glad you find it educational experience, and I do appreciate all the tips and donations. Thank you very much for that. Right, let's see how this looks. Fantastic. Listen to that noise. Love it. Absolutely love it. Right. Oh, nice check. Nice check. A little bit off the centre line. I mean, that was pretty good. That's certainly better than some of my online ventures onto X-Plane with some of the landings I managed. Right, let's do a view just abeam where we touched down. About there, should do it nicely. Look at that. Nice and smooth. Boom, down we are. And we select a reverse thrust straight away. I love just the noise. Just take a listen. Mega. Absolutely mega. I love it. Right, guys, thank you very much to anyone that donated and subscribed as a membership. As a member, thank you very much for all the dedicated support. I appreciate all that. Thank you very much as well if you're new to the video and or new to my live streams. Welcome to the channel. Everyone that subscribed as well, especially. And yeah, next live stream, I'm hoping next weekend. I've got a little bit of time coming up. I've got 5 days of flying coming up, and then I've actually got 2 weeks off, so hopefully at least a couple of live streams away in that period of time. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Appreciate all that. All the usual stuff I meant to say as a streamer. Still don't see myself as a full-time streamer, but anyway, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Right, guys, have a great, enjoyable rest of the weekend. Is there left of that, and have a great week ahead as well. And yeah, if you look at 3 or 4 hours time on my Instagram, you'll see me on my Flybe flight to my base, which I'm away from home for another 5 days, which is never fun. Anyway, I'm going to stop blabbing now, leave you to it. God bless you all, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, bye bye.